Oh, the knife!
And Chappie's going to find the knife on to destroy
people through smoke, doing some extra damage. I think just going his way. Diver's able to get a two-man spray down. No deep banana smoke coming out.
Towards short right now. Flash comes over the top. Massacre looking to clear out the angle. He finds the first, and the transfer to the second is absolutely sublime.
Oh no! Now takes out Adora. ADM with one. Spotted out Cunny. Nice shot.
Oh! Perfect position right now as Divo comes up N1. It's destroyed by... for some mere information, and he gets the full meeting of the bullets. Slowly pivots 180 onto Chappie. More than that, the support flash comes through though, and there we go. Picks up the kill on Leafy, and he's able to spray. Oh my god, how did I doubt him? He gets himself 4 kills.
He can catch all of them in retreats. He's going to be good for 1 on the spray. Gets 2 and bottom mid. He's going to get a 3rd.
Oh man. What's up everybody, welcome to Championship Saturday. Yeah, a little bit early for the grand final, but we are here with the lower bracket final. It's going to be Goliath Gaming versus DNMK. Both of the teams locking horns, Niix, to try and book themselves a spot in Championship Sunday tomorrow against ATK. Everything to play for these two teams, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's Goliath, it's DNMK. It's two teams which have been around the same sort of conversation for a hot minute at least.
Yeah.
And DNMK, they came off for hot twos against Sinister 5. Yes, they didn't show up on Vertigo, but otherwise the other two maps were convincing. The same can't be said about Goliath when they played against ATK last night. They had a really rough time on Mirage. Dust 2 was a lot better, went the whole 30 rounds, but the question is, can Goliath get it done today?
Yeah, that's a big question as well. I mean, the Goliath Gaming team have been looking very hot recently, sort of in like the past month and a half, 2 months. It seems like they're really starting to reach their comfort zone now and show us what all that hard work has been accumulating into. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think this Goliath Gaming team is going to come out swinging. And of course, on the flip side, we've got this DNMK roster, right? Which is just always shown to be competitive, regardless of the game that they're in or who they're playing against. The one important thing that we do need to touch on, of course, and what's going to be a main theme throughout this game is the fact that Nexus is playing his last event with this team. Of course, he's going to be departing the DNMK roster and going across to Zion, and Doobie from Big 5 is going to be coming into his place. So this is the last swan song for Nexus with this team. They're going to be hoping to go deeper than where they are right now.
Yeah, it's the last dance for Nexus, right? And I think he's going to try to go out with a banger as much as possible. I'm looking at the stats from the DNMK Sin 5 game, and we're speaking before we even got into like any sort of conversation about who's going to win today. And one of the winning conditions for DNMK is pretty much Doru and Kani. Those are probably two of the biggest win conditions for DNMK. If those two are going to pop off on the server, then Goliath are going to have a tough time. Doru went plus 16, 52 over 3 maps, and Kani got 47 over 3 maps against Sinister 5. So those two played pretty well against Sinister 5. Can they replicate that against probably a better Goliath roster compared to that Sin 5 team? And if you look at the Goliath team, I mean, we spoke about the win conditions they needed last night against ATK. Unfortunately, all of them didn't come to fruition for them, but they have the likes of Massacre, ADM, and Adara who can fire at all cylinders. And if they do, then DNMK are going to have a real tough time.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Nick. I want to add one more name in there for the Divo team, for the DNMK team, and it is Divo as well. He's one of the players who's going to have to be performing at the top of his level today if DNMK are going to be able to go toe-to-toe with this Goliath Gaming roster, because, as we mentioned already, this Goliath Gaming team have been looking increasingly better over the past few months. Of course, Zip has taken a back seat in the roster now. They've kind of got the 6-man team thing going where they're trying to find the best combination that they can put forward on the server, and at the moment, it's the Massacre and Adaro combination, because it's sort of Massacre, Adara, and Zipzip, which seems to be the 3 players that they've been switching in and interchanging between. And now Massacre, Adara, Zipzip, Dweezil, Elusive, ADM is the Zipzip, ADM, of course. That's the roster that they're going to be using, and the team that's looked the most convincing so far, in my opinion, as well. Massacre and Adara have been reaching not reaching new heights, but getting back to the heights that we all know that they're capable of as well. So that's what's making this Goliath Gaming team look so entertaining and so interesting at the moment.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think Adara is definitely one of the players where if he pops off, right? He definitely has the mechanical ability to take his team over the line. Last night, unfortunately, we saw a bit of a questionable play come out from him multiple times across Mirage and Dust 2. Not so much Dust 2, I just think he didn't get things rolling on that map. But Mirage, it seemed like Goliath, they weren't happy playing retake against ATK. They tried to make plays, they didn't have to. They lost picks, they didn't have to. And ultimately, ATK got a pretty convincing scoreline, 16-7, all things considered. But coming into today rather, Goliath have picked Inferno, and DNMK replied with a Mirage pick. We know that that's pretty comfortable for them, so it's not like a punish pick by any means. But maybe DNMK can see the faults that Goliath showed last night. Maybe DNMK can abuse what Goliath were doing poorly against ATK, and I have no doubt they've done the preparation coming into tonight's game. So maybe DNMK have in Mirage in the bag, considering how last night's performance went for Goliath.
I mean, I think that's like, I get where you're coming from with that, but I don't know. I don't think Goliath Gaming showed their best performance on Mirage last night. I think that the team definitely can perform a lot better than what we saw yesterday out of them. I mean, we saw in that ESCA final against ATK, they lost that 16-14 with a great T-side, right? So I think if they can just rectify 1 or 2 of their mistakes that we saw last night, they can definitely be competitive on Mirage. I think that Goliath Gaming are actually very happy with this map pool, and I think DNMK are as well. I think this is actually going to be a closely contested map pool. I mean, Inferno, Mirage, and Dust 2. I mean, is that not always the map pool when we have these 2 teams playing against one another, Nick?
Yeah, it seems like it's the solid sort of team, the maps everyone plays. It's not the super technical maps. It's no overpass. It's no nuke. It's none of those sort of maps. But it's the sort of like, if you have your play style and you can play it well and not fall into the enemy's trap of getting to play their game, then you'll play perfectly fine. And Goliath, as we've spoken about Goliath ATK rivalry and how good Goliath's Inferno was, and then it got to the stage where ATK were dropping Inferno against them, etc, etc. So Goliath, they've picked Inferno into DNMK. DNMK's Inferno is not too bad, all things considered. They've taken maps off some teams. I mean, one team they've taken Inferno off of is ATK, and all things considered. So I mean, DNMK are very well sound on Inferno as well, but again, it comes into the idea of Nexus is playing for them. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but it's sort of like he hasn't been practicing with them for the past couple of weeks. They've been practicing with Doobie. This is sort of like balls to the wall, sort of enjoy it sort of a thing. So maybe that's the thing that DNMK have got going for them. They can play with this sort of suave, this sort of like freeness that maybe Goliath aren't ready for. And maybe Goliath will prey to that, where DNMK are just taking things with numbers and having fun.
Yeah, you're completely right, Nick. There's something that just comes with knowing that there isn't as much pressure on the team, and that kind of unlocks everybody and untaps them and means that they don't really feel as much stress on the situation as they normally would. So yeah, I agree with you. That's definitely going to be an interesting facet to consider. Just chatting a little bit more about the maps, going back to Inferno, you know, obviously picked by Goliath Gaming, a map that they sort of making a home pick as well. I think DNMK's, one of their strongest points on Inferno used to be the man, because he was one of those players who would do such a good job of taking banana control, whether it was on the T or the CT side. And you really want somebody like the man in your team when you're playing on Inferno, right? Someone who's not afraid to take fights, someone who's going to back himself every single time. Even if he's in a disadvantage, he's still going to swing out and try and take the fights. And having somebody like that in banana is actually such a big asset. So I definitely think it's going to hamper DNMK a little bit on the map in terms of what their potential performance could look like. We'll have to see how it ends up working out for them. But I think that we could be on the cards for a 2-0 here for Goliath Gaming with this map pool. I think Mirage and Inferno will both be fairly comfortable for them. And it's going to be a tough ask. We did see Mirage played out between Sinister 5 and DNMK on Thursday night, Nick, and DNMK just absolutely destroyed Sinister 5.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the Mirage stats, the only person who went negative was Divo, unfortunately. But if you think back all the way back then, they didn't start CT, they started T side, they got 11 rounds. Divo's usually the guy on the one side of the map where he's going in first after he's like throwing his lurk util, etc, etc. On CT side, they never really came to his side, so he went 16-11, but then Doru went 20 and 11, Nexus went 20 and 12, and maybe that's sort of the freeness that we saw with them. Nexus just playing free Counter-Strike. He's just enjoying what he's doing. He's just having a last song. So if that same sort of form of Nexus comes, because I don't necessarily think Nexus is a win condition. He's not necessarily the X factor that DNMK need, but it's sort of the same thing with Heartbreak, right? Like, we expect him to put up numbers, but if he pops off, and if Nexus pops off, then maybe that's what DNMK needs to push them over the line. Because if Nexus is fragging, and we all know Doru is super consistent, he's going to frag, Kani's going to frag, Heartbreak's going to frag. Next thing you know, there's 4 people firing at full cylinders with Divo doing his job, and then Goliath, maybe they get him a punch in the face, a Chris Brown 1-2 or something.
Yeah, I mean, this matchup has always provided for us, Nick. This Goliath Gaming versus DNMK matchup has always brought some entertainment to the table. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility for this to get down and dirty and actually turn into a 3-mapper and a couple close ones at that as well. I do think, though, that Goliath wouldn't mind if this got dirty, you know. The likes of Massacre and Adaro playing the way that they are right now, they kind of want to take brawls, they want to get involved in the fights, they want to get in the thick of things, you know. So if DNMK do decide to go down that route, I'm not sure that it's going to end up very well for them. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting one to see how it ends up playing out. If we do go to Dust 2, obviously DNMK win, right? Because like DNMK just it's like the kryptonite for Goliath Gaming. DNMK on Dust 2, we've seen it before. Yeah, I wonder if we'd see it again. They did play against each other on Dust 2 in the regulation season, if I recall correctly, and Goliath Gaming beat them on the maps. So they have put their former demons to bed on Dust 2, but they'll still always be there in the back of their minds.
Yeah, without a doubt. But I think like Mirage pretty much, or Inferno is going to be the first map. So I think it is going to be interesting because more on the CT side, we're seeing Kani pick up the AWP a lot more rather than Heartbreak. Heartbreak, I assume, or as of recently, if I remember correctly, he's been moved over towards the B bomb sites. He plays that with Doru, and then Nexus, Diver, and Kani play the A bomb sites, and Kani picks up the AWP a lot more. So Kani with the AWP, he can be extremely aggressive and he can be extremely passive with it, you know, like he's got that sort of style to him where he can be explosive if he needs to, but he can also be passive if the round calls for that to be the case. And I think Kani, if he's hitting his AWP shots, I mean, pretty much when Kani's popping off, you can speak to anyone. I mean, when we interviewed Slowy last night, he was like, yeah, you've casted games where Trevor's got like 3 1v4s and insane stuff like that. So if Kani pops off on Inferno tonight, whether it's on the T side or the CT side, Goliath are going to have a tough time. And how do they choose to mitigate that? How do they choose to play around Trevor's AWP? And how do they choose to even abuse it? Because I think being such an explosive player, as anyone in the world is, when you're so explosive and you feel like you're getting shut down constantly, that does have a toll on the mental. So maybe Goliath, maybe their point of view, if Kani is starting to play well, instead of to go away from them, they maybe just run at him rather and make sure he only gets those 1v1 duels, or not the 1v1s, but he only gets one in those duels, and then maybe he gets traded out and stuff like that. Maybe Kani could be a point in which they can abuse, even though he's a solid player. But how Goliath choose to approach Inferno is going to be interesting, considering DNMK don't have the man like patrolling Banana, sort of the Kindar-esque towards that side of the map. So I think it's going to be interesting. But Doru, he's extremely consistent. He's an extremely good pillar that DNMK have to fall on. Quite often you see them just playing like 4 in brackets and retake B with Doru there because they're so confident and he can get one and stay alive, and that is sort of situation. So how do Goliath play around that is definitely going to be an interesting way to see.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it shouldn't be much longer before we kick things off here, guys, in this lower bracket final between 2 of South Africa's best. DNMK versus Goliath Gaming will be underway shortly. Looks like the server's got a reconnect. No, we're good. Everything seems fine. We've got 6 players on the server, guys, so it shouldn't be too long before we get underway. Nick, we've been here for a while, man. We've been here for 8 weeks to reach up until this point. Of course, EGL One Season 2 began all the way back in like the end of Feb, maybe, or something like that. And here we are, 8 weeks later. We started off with 16 teams. There's only 3 teams left remaining here in the event, battling it out for a share of the 50,000 Rand prize pool. So, I mean, this has been an extended event, right? It's not like we had like a group stage or something like that. We kicked it off right from the beginning. It's like we started with the double elimination bracket, but we just played it out over 8 weeks instead of over a weekend type of thing, so we could get as much action, as many of the storylines, and just get as much entertainment out of the event as we possibly could. So yeah, we've arrived at this point. Goliath Gaming made their way through the upper bracket the entire way through until they reached that upper bracket final, which is what was played last night between themselves and ATK. First map was Mirage. ATK won that very comfortably 16-7. Then we shifted across towards Dust 2, which ATK had to close out 16-14. That was very closely contested in the end. They got across the line, so that was 1-2-0. DNMK were dropped out of that upper bracket by Goliath Gaming, and that was in the fourth round, or rather the third round of the upper bracket. Regardless, DNMK were dropped down by Goliath Gaming 2-0. So that's going to be in the back of their minds as well. DNMK had to make a bit of a run through that lower bracket. They beat WRG, and then they beat Sinister 5 earlier on in the week as well to earn their spot here in the lower bracket final. Nick, top 3, do you think either of these teams will be content with the top 3 finish?
I think DNMK definitely. I think DNMK will be more than happy considering their situation that they're in. I think playing with Nexus, pretty much anything in the money pretty much is going to be a bonus, right? The fact that they've got their hands on the green, and Nexus is going to have like a sort of fun last little series. Even if they lose today, I don't think they'll be upset. But I think Goliath, I think they expect nothing but top 2. I don't think that's a stretch. I don't think that's unfair to say. I think Goliath coming into pretty much any tournament throughout the stretch of last year and this year, I think if Goliath didn't come into the tournament with the mentality of beating ATK, or at least getting close, or at least getting to that top 2 situation, I think anything less than that will be a bit of an upset, if you will, for them. Because I think Goliath they definitely have the potential, they definitely have the firepower that they needed. We saw it in VS last year. They sort of had this mentality of getting towards that top 2, that top 3, top 2 sort of range, and they fell short to DNMK actually in that unreal series where we saw DNMK wipe the floor with Goliath, in all honesty, on that third map, which I still have PTSD on, in all honesty.
If you do, imagine how they feel.
Yeah, exactly. But I think Goliath, I think there's no ways any of the players will say they're going to be happy with top 3. I think if they go out now, they'll definitely be disappointed, especially against the team they're facing. No disrespect to DNMK, but it's all of the stuff that they're playing with. Nexus, player they haven't been practicing with, he's now playing with a new team. All stuff like that has to be considered. I think Goliath are definitely running into this game as favorites, and they should be winning it.
Yeah, I agree with you. They will be favorites. Not only are they favorites, as you mentioned, another really important aspect is that in their minds, they really want to get across the line. Not only do they want to, they expect themselves to get across the line here tonight. They won't be content, as you say, with a top 3 finish. In fact, even a top 2 finish, they'll be okay with. But so long as they push ATK, that's the goal here for this Goliath Gaming team. Gone are the days where they're just sort of, okay, we'll take the top 2. ATK is too far ahead. They want to continue to push ATK and to at least test them and say, yeah, we finished second, but at least we were competitive against the best. So yeah, I agree. Not going to be content with top 3. Probably DNMK would be. As you mentioned, Nexus is going to be departing, so playing with a dead roster, maybe that's a little bit rough to call it, but it's not going to be the team we'll be seeing them taking into the future. So, Nexus, he'll be joining Zion. We'll have Doobie come into his position, and then we can really start to see what this DNMK roster is capable of. I feel like this team did have enough time to try and work things out, when Doru had joined. They've been together for a couple of months now, and yeah, I guess things didn't really work out, whatever it came down to, whether it was just they felt a little bit stale, maybe there's some internal conflicts about what direction the team wanted to take, maybe there was a bit of an overlap in the roles, I'm not entirely sure. I do think that Doobie is going to be bringing some much needed firepower in terms of the entry level here, or the entry fragging department. For DNMK, I think when they lost the man, they lost that impetus. They lost that player who was the one to open things up for the team, and I think they desperately need that. So Doobie will be bringing that prowess, and I think it sort of balances things out a little bit more for this DNMK team.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think the man is definitely an important figure. I think when you look at the man on pretty much any roster, you know that besides the RGL, he's going to be the player who's taking initiative. He's going to be the player who's going to be bringing up ideas, and being an ex-teammate of Doobie, I know he's definitely one of those players. He's more pushed towards one side of the map, getting information, and he's got a very good mind for the game. So he'll count the util on B side, and B side does too, for argument's sake. Maybe understood that they mollied mid doors after you smoke mid B. They molly tunnels at the start of the round. They've thrown 2 smokes. He'll be like, okay, guys, no util on B. Let's group up for a B pop as soon as possible. I know that's a super dumbed down, simple example that pretty much anyone can do, but that's pretty much Doobie in a nutshell. He does things really, really, really well. Really good aim on him, mechanically quite good. And no disrespect to Nexus, but it is an upgrade, all things considered. But with Nexus, he's a solid player, and he's going to be going over to Zion. And Zion, they're now a bit of a dark horse. They've got a very young roster. They've got players who are pretty much not very well known in the scene. They've got Kana, Bam, players that are unknown. Vaynant, who's an extremely good aimer. And then Nexus, he's brought in as the sort of superior figure IGL. And that team can do damage, bro. That team can do damage.
Nick, that team can do damage, but right now we shift our focus to Inferno as the damage that will be dealt will be on this very map. DNMK find themselves on the CT side, Goliath Gaming on the C side, and we're kicking off this lower bracket final. Utah already being used in towards top mid. Nexus, he's being forced back on smoke, and Kani's lost his life after he was tagged down by Dweezil. He's been removed from the round, and Goliath Gaming, they're just going to be taking full control of this A site. Nexus able to get one back through the smoke, but that won't be slowing down this hit. Goliath Gaming find the plants, and it's going to have to be a 4 versus 4 retake. Flashes on hand here for Heartbreak. He's got the kits as well. And they're trying to give Nexus a bit of time to wrap his way around towards N1. He's going to be getting support from Doru and Divo as well, while Heartbreak sits towards Library. He's going to be the one to let the flashes rip. He is taking some fights. Perhaps he'll advise. He's going to be flashing his teammates actually with that one. Elusive finds 2 kills, and that's pretty much the end of the round. Divo will be going down. Nick, questionable flash coming out of Heartbreak there towards N1 perhaps?
Yeah, I thought he was going to flash above the app so that they could swing into the sites, but I mean, that's a super rough scenario. Like, you can't... Like, what is the play? Do you group arch? You try to jump through together? There's no smokes for the retake. There's no... Pretty much just 2 flashes, but you can't get anything done. So that was super rough retake coming out from DNMK. And
looks like they panicked a bit.
Pretty much off the rip. Yeah, they had like 3 people going one. Heartbreaker's in the middle of nowhere throwing flashes. So then he flashes his teammates. Super rough. But I mean, Goliath, they post the first round of this best of 3 series in the low bracket final. And it was a good one at that. And the question is, can that be the case for the rest of it? And Kani, he's already been taken out twice with no response at the start of this game. It's just a full eco though, so it should be easy pickings for Goliath, all things considered, and ADM is going to make it easy at that.
Yeah, no harm, no foul in this round for Goliath Gaming as they just clean up the anti-eco. Haven't lost a player as of yet, and the bomb is being shifted across to B because they know the remaining 2 players are on the A side of the map. Nexus, can you find a frag in the round? No. No. 2-0. Gonna have a gun round coming up here. Nick, it's gonna be an okay gun round for the CTs. I mean, they'll have rifles and armor. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of these types of a buy. I'd actually rather see teams sort of quasi-buy in the second round. Maybe Deagle armor buy down to 1,000 and then full save in the third round so that you have a proper full gun round with AWPs, rifles, and kits in the fourth. It just feels like this is a little bit of a risky decision.
Yeah, I agree. I'm never a fan of this, especially on a map like Inferno where it's so util oriented, right? Util effectively wins you rounds. You think about how you're going to have to retake brackets when the T's take it, how you're going to have to retake banana when the T's take it, stuff like that. You need the utility when you're CT. And now just like that, 1 minute 25 seconds left on the clock, the only noticeable piece of utility on DNMK is the molly on Kani's back, and he's in brackets, and he's going to take first contact when this take comes in. So it's interesting to see because now you've got 5 rifles, but you've only got flashes, one of which doesn't have head armor, and now you've still got map control. But as soon as Goliath take any of it, then you have no way you're going to take any of it back. So they have to kind of go for fights if you're DNMK.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've kind of posted Heartbreak by himself here at the B bomb side.
Head armor.
Yeah, he loses himself to that rifle, the UMP. Taro opening things up, and now we're going to be seeing Goliath Gaming start to circumvent the bomb site. Massacre's going to go straight through the smoke. He catches Kani off guard, who was just trying to shift back into the defense, and this is a gun round which hasn't achieved anything as of yet. Nexus will finally be able to get a kill back, but that's all it's going to be. And now it's Heartbreak left in the 1 versus 4, so literally nothing being achieved in that gun round. But the problem, Nick, is that DNMK, they had the right read. They had 4 players on the A bomb site, or at least on that part of the map, and they're only able to find 1 frag between the 4 of them.
Yeah, I do think it's really rough, especially like Divo's positioning. Yes, you want to buy the M4, but then I want to say it was a Daro apps who just comes with a UMP, and that's a one-shot headshot at close range. So all the little things, all of them add up, and the fact that DNMK, all things considered, the fact that they went a full eco the second round, and then they choose to buy up in the third. As you said, I'm more of a fan of like the Deagle smoke armor buy, and maybe your AWPer just buys until like 1,000, maybe just buys a Deagle, so that if they lose that round, he can still build up that extra economy to buy the AWP in the 4th. Whereas
Yeah.
on the second round, especially on a map like Inferno, small choke points, you can drop the smokes when you get contact, buy
Yeah.
the smokes, buy time. Next thing you know, 20 seconds left on the clock. They have to push through smokes to try to win the round. But then they didn't even get to that sort of point of view. They had no head armor, no utility. They got picked apart, and that was a simple and easy gun round, all things considered, for Goliath.
Yeah, I mean, if that's a sign of things to come here, then DNMK are going to have a pretty ominous half. This time they do have some upgraded pistols. The AK that was saved from the previous round is been carried through here by Heartbreak. Divo tries to get some information, but it's just a bit of lack of discipline there, perhaps. You know, can't really afford to just dry peek middle like that. Flashbang comes through, and Goliath Gaming is taking command and control of top middle. And in fact, Heartbreak's now the only player left remaining. So Nick, this Goliath Gaming team have pitched up. They're on the server. They're looking well oiled, and they're here to play right now. We can't say the same about DNMK. Not to say that they're not going to pitch up and that they won't be pitching up to play, but Goliath Gaming are here and they're come out firing.
Yeah, definitely. And I must say, it's a bit of a pity, all things considered, that we weren't able to see Goliath's Inferno last night, because they're a solid team. Yeah, exactly. They're a super solid team on Inferno, and I'm pretty sure anyone in South Africa is pretty scared of them. Even maybe not ATK. I don't think ATK is really scared of anyone, but I think anyone outside of ATK is pretty much scared of Goliath's Inferno, and have a super solid one at that. And the first couple of gun rounds, they've made it super solid, and this is the second of that couple. So can they make this one convincing is going to be a question.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the be-all and end-all gun round here for DNMK, but they've got the double AWP in place, so they definitely need to make some sort of a mark. Big nade indeed, and ADM, he gets burnt down as well as he makes his way back through that smoke to safety. So a little bit more has been achieved in the early stages of this round. As you can see, quite a few of the Goliath players have been tagged down. And maybe they're going to start to work their way towards this B side for the first time in the half. Options still available. Util remaining for the T side and for the CTs as well. And it looks like Goliath are just going to be securing themselves top mid control. Not sure they'll be using it though. Yeah, they're just showing presence. Yeah, I love this from Goliath because they've starved DNMK of the info. They've pushed them back in banana. They retook top middle as well. So they've literally forced DNMK all the way back into the bomb site. Heartbreak goes in a bit of an excursion and he does find ADM. First blood drawn here by DNMK. Oh, Dweezil just trying to bait the shot site. Receives the same treatment. Elusive just wants to drop a smoke and he goes down as well. So single-handedly, Heartbreak has earned his team a 5 versus 2. And it's just Massacre towards top banana. He goes down to Heartbreak's AWP as well. Welcome to the server, Mr. Heartbreak.
Oh my goodness. He's going for the ace.
The ace, by the way.
I
Yeah.
love that. Love that. What a way to start it off, you know. The first gun round, make it convincing. We speak about Goliath looking really good, and now Heartbreak, he showed up. He showed up.
Good one.
And now 5 kills in the 5th round, and super solid coming out from Heartbreak. Really questionable coming out from Goliath, all things considered. They starved DNMK of all that information, and they just walked into the brick wall of Heartbreak. And I know he's a big Afrikaans man from Stelly, so I mean you got to watch out for them. They're pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Nick. That's true. DNMK find themselves around on the board here on the CT side. Kleiny didn't have to do much with his AWP in the previous round. It was his teammates' AWP that got all the damage, and Goliath Gaming not letting their foot off the accelerator in this round. Straight back to business for them as they burst open on the safe site, and I don't even know if DNMK can even have a crack at this. I think they have to save their weapons, Nick. They don't have enough money to full buy in the next round. These 3 players have to take their guns into the next one, but how much are they going to lose before they decide to save? Oh, the answer is none.
Thank goodness. They understand that 3 weasels aren't strong. It's going to be the analogy I use for the rest of my life.
It's done. It's done. I'd say that's TM copyright. That's yours, bruv.
Yeah, exactly. Especially considering Dweezil's the other guy
I know.
that they're playing against, so it's perfectly formal and sorted for this sort of situation, you know? They're playing against the weasel, they are weasels, all that stuff.
Can't spell Dweezil without weasel.
Exactly, it just doesn't work.
We don't write the rules, guys. We just follow them.
Yeah.
They're from Mr. Dweezil. Nice hops down mid. 5-1, Goliath Gaming just straight back to applying pressure here to DNMK on the CT side. And things were super simple, right? They're just sort of default taking top mid control, and DNMK haven't yet been able to stop it, Nick. They have not yet been able to deal with this top mid take coming out of Goliath.
Yeah, and I think if you're DNMK, you just gotta do like aggro app setups or something to mitigate the sort of freeness that Goliath are having towards this A bomb site, because you're just giving them free reign pretty much wherever they go. And
Yeah.
even this round, Adaro, he's going to be the only one patrolling this area of the map. There's going to be 4 Goliath players towards that banana area, and Dweezil, he's already taken out by Heartbreak, and Dory's actually found himself in a really good position over towards the sandbags. He's going to be mollied out, so he can't rotate. But if he goes overlooked, he can get a good couple frags. And a flash coming in from Heartbreak means he can get one. Now Heartbreak's even coming in the meantime to come and help out, so Dory's holding a really good line. Only going to get flashed off if they're going to choose to entertain him. And Elusive, he's going to be patrolling that issue. Smoke's been dropped in response, so 3v5 for DNMK.
Yeah, really nice little interplay here between Dora and Heartbreak towards the top of Banana. Great decision making between the two of them. Great communication as well, and you can just see they're on the same wavelength the entire time. Kani finds Adara lurking towards top mid, and that means that Goliath Gaming don't have many options available. They're still going to try and make something happen here towards top mid. They use one of their 2 remaining smokes to block off Kani, and Elusive does find Divo. Nexus on top of the balcony right now is going to be the next points of contention, as Kani's been had a shot baited out, and there we go. Now Nexus is able to activate. ADM does trade him out, and he's got a smoke to block off the offense coming through from Kani, so you'll get the plants at the bare minimum here. Nick?
I remember the time ADM won this one before, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, this is actually a doable one, you know. He does hit the first shot onto Heartbreak, the pivot onto Kani. It's just Dory left from ADM. He can't put a foot wrong. 3 shots fired, 3 frags found, and it's the 6th round won for Goliath Gaming, and that is going to be a tough pill to swallow for DNMK.
Went just like that, I told you, I remembered it.
Yeah, no, no, we all saw that one coming. That's why there was nothing special about it, right?
True. It's like, it's rough. It's a 2v5, right? That was a 2v5. And you're still playing aggro in brackets. Like, the points of that, I don't know. Enlighten me, please. I would like to know. You can turtle in the bomb site. You can play mini pit. You can play, like,
why
big
do you
pit
care about
balcony.
mid control?
Exactly. Like, you're in a position where, first of all, your teammate can't help you. You've just been smoked off arch. Second of all, you can't rotate if you've been flashed. You're in no man's land, so that's a free 1v1. Nexus on balcony gets 1, and he repeaks, which is another bad thing. Like, you can just get 1, drop mini pit, buy time for the rotate. Next thing you know, you repeat, give up another free 1v1 to ADM. And then they're smoked off 1v3. You're pushing to the smokes at a rough time. You're not doing it together. No one's making space. One person's going graveyard. All you got to do in that situation, if you've got an AWP, take out the pistol, run, jump, make yourself as hard a target to hit, and make sure the rifle is on your bum, making sure you can get the trade. And then if you're DNMK, it's unlosable. But just the setup there, super rough, super unfinished, and then unfortunately, ADM, if you give him those 1v1s, he's going to chop you up, and he takes it. Oh, dude, what a sick 1v4, bro. What a way to start this off.
There's something about ADM and clutching on the A sides of Inferno, by the way. Like, he's got this knack for clutching on the A sides of Inferno. He just moves around that bomb site so well. He knows which fights to pick and choose, which battle to take at the exact moment. And he turns a 1v3 into 3 1 versus 1s. But Nick, it's not even like you can really fault the way that DNMK played that, because they all pushed through the smoke at the same time. They knew where he was, and they just tried to rush him down. But it was down to ADM's sublime movement there, shifting left, shifting right, pivoting back and forth, just making himself an absolute nuisance, like a living ghost. He haunts DNMK, and he steals a round away from them, a round which was looking so good at one point. Nick, we saw the heroics from Doru and Heartbreak at the top of Banana. They defended it like beasts, and they sent Goliath packing. I think that was actually a 2 versus 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was. It really was a 2 versus 5, and super rough coming out from DNMK, and they're really going to be upset that they lost that one. And Goliath, that's ADM in a nutshell, that round, just as you said, right? Like, what a talented player he is. And now DNMK, that was the last round that they should have won in the previous, and now they're going to try to respond with one of their own.
Yeah, no money in the bank here for DNMK, so if Goliath Gaming win this round, they're going to start to run away with the half, Nick. DNMK, they're going to be kicking themselves as well, because that previous round was absolutely theirs for the taking. Nice double nade down mid through the smoke to bring Dweezil down to 14 health. AWP on Heartbreak, Util remaining as well, but no money in the bank yet for the CTs. There is money in the bank for the T side, however. Even though they lost 4 players in the previous round, they've still got a bit of residual cash left remaining.
Yeah, and now look at the utility from DNMK, right? They've got a smoke on Doru. Oh, Niix is just getting spammed. And I was about to say 2 mollies, but 1 molly's just been used. So just like that, a smoke on your B player, a molly on your A player, 4 flashes among the server, and if Goliath chooses to the sides, you're not going to have any luck. Elusive going to get flashed in towards Archie. He's going to take down Cunny. That was one of the mollies which has been dropped to the floor. Now there's 2 players segregated on the same bomb site, and Goliath, they're going to do something extremely interesting, which is extremely powerful as well. They know that DNMK have no info, so they're just going to go dark. They're going to wait for this reaggression, and ultimately, if DNMK don't reaggress and they can just group up and exec a site, it's going to go dark and see if DNMK choose to entertain any sort of gunfight.
Oh, this pause has worked out so well for Goliath. Look at how it's shifted the defense. Heartbreak is second guessing the call here. He's moved himself across towards the B bomb side, and now we see this A side being circumvented by the T side. Nexus and Divo gonna have to stand tall. They've got a bit of a crossfire here. Divo takes first contact, and that allows Nexus to swing out. He gets himself the kill, spraying away though. Eventually he'll take down Elusive as well. A fantastic triple kill from Nexus. Leaves his team in a very winnable 1 versus 2. It's ADM again, Nick. However, this time he doesn't have an AWP, he has an AK. And it's a 1 versus 2, so this is obviously easy for him, right? He wins 1 versus 3, so 1 versus 2, so he's got to gobble up every day of the week. Doesn't matter if he has an AWP or an AK. It's still the same result at the end of the day. Absolute misery for DNMK.
This was ADM of old, dude. Like, I was saying when I made my top 10 series, I was saying last year, ADM, it wasn't the ADM of the past. It wasn't the ADM which everyone grew to know and love. He didn't put up the numbers he did. But I mean, in 2019, ADM was arguably a top 2 player in that year. Like, he was absolutely phenomenal. And maybe this is ADM of the past. He looks free. He looks like he's enjoying it. And he's absolutely ripping heads. Mad respect. What a talented player. And when he's popping off, he's a scary one to play against.
Absolutely, Nick. One of the scariest in South Africa to play against when he's at the top of his game, man. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but let me hold that thought because we've got some aggression coming through here towards top mid. It's a force buy in response here from DNMK, but they've only finally been able to get a frag back, and as soon as Kani gets that pick, he looks over to the scoreboard, he presses tab, and he sees all his teammates' names are grayed out. He's the only player left remaining, blinded up, he gets taken down, and Goliath Gaming on an absolute tear right now, 8-1, they are pulling ahead. Nick, I just want to add a point there about that ADM conversation. I mean, it's something we spoke about, right? I'm pretty sure you and I actually had this exact conversation on one of our broadcasts a few months ago about how because now he doesn't have to focus on being the IGL and trying to find the solution to beat ATK. He's sort of given that responsibility across to Elusive, who's probably better equipped to deal with it. It means that ADM's been able to focus on his own game, silence the haters, and just grind his individual performance back to the level that he knows he's capable of. And we're seeing it in the server day in and day out. Man, South African Counter-Strike is so much better with ADM performing at this level.
Oh my goodness. Yo.
That's why I put him in my top 5, man. Because I just think he is a top 5 player at the moment.
I think, like, if you read too much into the stats, especially of last year, considering the era that ATK had, like, the stats are super skewed, all things considered. Like, everyone playing against ATK is going to play poorly because they're losing every series. But if you look at 2019, and if you just watch ADM play, he's a talented player, super, super strong mechanically, and a really good brain for the game. Or we always speak about ADM's one of the players who probably put more work into the game than anyone else, and we're seeing him reap the rewards because he's honestly popping off. And I'm excited for what ADM has after ATK leave because he could be completely unleashed. He could be the beast of his past, and he's going to be.
But he doesn't
scary.
want that, right? He doesn't want to be that, like, have that anecdote, like, yeah, no, when ATK left, that's when I was able to really take over. He wants that win against ATK so badly, bro. I was talking about it last night, how badly Elusive will want to beat him as the IGL because he just doesn't like being second best. ADM doesn't either. Nice shot there from Doru as he finds his second frag of the map, but just a highlight kill at that. But Nick, ADM, he's one of those players who is same mentality as Massacre, as Adaro, and Dweezil as well. These guys, they don't like not being the best. They're used to being the best. And so, can you imagine how important and how much it would mean to them to try to beat ATK? I don't think that there's anything that they want more in the world right now.
Yeah, I agree. And oh my
So
goodness.
they had to do that. Sorry, they have to beat DNMK, right, to earn that
Yeah.
rematch.
Yeah, without a doubt. And the best of 5 even, so it's going to be extremely interesting to see how that comes to fruition. But I mean, the task that they've got at their hand right now is just ensure that they can beat DNMK, and they look like they're making a meal out of it. Does look like it's going to be a fast N2 play. 3 people wrapping the A bomb site. 3 people from the CTs are in the sites. It is an ADM. He's going to be tasked with entering. Kani's missed the close-up warp shot, and if you give ADM that entry, he's going to gobble it up. Nexus in the bomb site going to get 2. Spraying a Doris to the smoke down to 28 points of health, but now he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, and he's living on borrowed time, and now it's Doru and Heartbreak, the 2 B players, going to be coming in for the 2v3 retake. And even though you're 9-1 down, you just got to save this. You're not going to be able to get any luck in the retake, where you shouldn't be granted that opportunity.
Yeah, Doru coming through apartments is going to be trying to catch the timing here, and he will find a Daro. Maybe that's going to be giving them an incentive to go for this. However, I'm still not entirely convinced. There is a flash on Doru. He's going to be throwing that over the top, banking it off of the chimney. And now we see Heartbreak looking to try and get in on the mix as well. Weasel's been taken down. They certainly won't be expecting ADM to be in pit as well. So this is a bait and switch. ADM now, he finds Doru, but he does get taken down. Oh my god. And there's enough time to find the defuse. Doru going massive in the round. 3 kills for him. The defuse comes to fruition as well, and DNMK win the round. Massive round for them to win as well, Nick. This half is totally spiraled out of control, and it seemed like Goliath Gaming were about to go up 10-1, but through a retaker, and an unlikely one at that, DNMK get another point on the board. But Nick, they have to string some more together here to at least build on that nice retake.
Yeah, I did say Doru and Heartbreak should have saved there, and I do think that would have been the safe decision, but I mean they just threw caution to the wind, and they were able to ultimately win out the 2v3, and Doru with a sick 3k to win out that retake, and ultimately the DNMK are able to post their second round on the board. But as you said, you need to start stringing rounds together, right? If you want to have any chance of making a comeback in this game, especially the CT side of economy, you're not gonna have those cash injections that the T side is gonna have. Heartbreak is down banana. He's in Broom right now with an AWP. And he's going to try and get out. Hopefully he doesn't get spammed through the smoke. But it does look like Goliath. They've taken brackets. They've forfeited banana, but they've taken brackets. And maybe they're going to go for a fast in one pop or something along those lines. Maybe a fast A-wrap. But this extra rotate has come out from Doru. So they're going to have a real rough time if they're going to choose to take the A site.
Yeah, Heartbreak posted up with York by himself. Top banana means they've got all the info in the world. But Goliath, they're not going to be committing to this A site. DNMK licking their lips right now, Nick, thinking, oh yeah, baby, we've got the stack on the right side of the map. The Util's training in. Massacre's going to try and sell the fake even further. Will he chase Kani down through the smoke? No, but Heartbreak will find ADM. He's got a much bigger job to do than just that lone frag, though, as he will be in hot pursuit. Elusive coming around the corner actually goes down as well. Weasel wants to try and trade it, but he's dropped. My god, Heartbreak doing so much work towards the speed bomb site with the AWP. Single-handedly pretty much securing the round for his team. It's only Massacre left remaining, able to bait the shot out, but that's only objective number 1, and this bomb has been locked down as well. So there's no chance for him to win this. He's going to swing out and lose his life here. It's just about whether he can maybe find a bit of extra frags or not, and he won't be able to. 9-3, DNMK in the 11th hour, fighting their way back into this half, Nick.
Yeah, Heartbreak is having some really big rounds. I mean, he's had 2 really big rounds. The one ace when they were trying to push the B issue, and he just picked them off one by one. And this round, super solid B hold. He was anchoring towards that side of the map, and Goliath, they did fake that sort of A wrap, and Divo had a kill in the meantime. And eventually they figured out that it wasn't going to be the case. But Heartbreak, he just stood like a rock hard pillar towards that B site, and he started to play really, really well, but now his teammates need to start showing up to the body. One person can't single-handedly carry DNMK across the line.
True.
And that's why they found themselves 9-3 down. So now's their time. They've got 2 rounds in a row. They can start building up the economy. If they win this, they probably get Goliath onto an eco, and then you start looking really, really good.
Yeah, they need to earn that anti-eco round. For the time being, Goliath Gaming are grouped up towards the safe side once again, which is where they've found majority of their success so far here in the first half. It does look like they're going to be keeping up with that as well. No surprise, right? I mean, the B-bomb site's pretty much been the only place that they've lost a few rounds now, so if you're DNMK, maybe you should be making a read here that Goliath Gaming are going to go back to their bread and butter. Because they've got 2 players on the B-bomb side right now do the CTs, which means this A side under question. probably is going to be falling as it has been throughout this half. Goliath Gaming, their executes have been clean so far. Elusive first player out, jumping in towards A, and Massacre goes off to multi. Most of them have lost their lives, but ADM able to trade up means there's going to be a 3v3. There's still a player here. Nexus underneath the balcony has been spotted. Oh my god, the AK actually able to spray through the concrete to find that frag. Nexus has been doing a good job on this A site. It must be said, he's been consistently finding frags before he goes down, sometimes even multi-kills. And now it falls on Dweezil and Adara in the 2 versus 2 to get across the line here in the round. All in the meantime, it's the 2 B players who have shifted across to make the retake happen. Doru and Heartbreak. Got one flash between the 2 of them and a couple kits. Where's Heartbreak going to opt to use that flash is the question. First of all, he needs to get himself out of library safely. And then he needs to try and give Doru the opportunity. Or is Doru just going to lurk his way forward? Oh man, is the timing going to work out here? Dweezil, the timing is in his favor. And he takes down Heartbreak as well. Surgical precision from him. And it's Goliath who get double digits in the first half.
Yeah, Goliath already got double digits, and one thing that came out from their horse pop, which I have to say is a bit iffy, like they're smoking moto before they flash out up. So what that moto smoke does is that pushes the guy playing Arch, he's going to come into the site, and the whole point of popping out holes is you're only going to fight 2 players, maybe 1 site, 1 pit, or 1 mini. But as soon as you smoke moto, the guy's reaction is to come into the sites, then you have to fight 3. So that's why the early kills didn't actually go the way of Goliath, but they were still able to win it out ultimately. In the 2v2 retake, Nexus, he tried to do whatever he could towards mini pit, but just didn't go their way. But DNMK on the Beagles, they're doing some really good damage and find themselves 2 men up in this round.
Yeah, I mean, a nice start to the eco round here for DNMK. Not across the line just yet, but Massacre and Elusive barely make up 100 HP between the 2 of them. And then it's ADM left with full health, so a 2-man advantage up for the CTs to try push this round home. Not only that, Heartbreak has an AWP, Kanye's got the AK as well, so they've been able to salvage some weapons.
Like, why are you re-aggressing? Like,
yeah,
this is the second time it's happened. If they lose this round, it's going to be another big misplay from DNMK. Like, that is not needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You've got the numerical advantage already, and it's in such an important round. Just sit back and control the bomb sites, go back into turtle formation, and now we're going to be seeing Goliath Gaming start to try and wrap themselves onto the say site. No, not the M&M style or the sweet style. We're talking Halloumi and Avaraps here, baby. Kani finds the first frag onto Massacre. That takes the heat off of the pit area. All in the meantime, though, ADM continues to do work, but his job's not done just yet either. He can't clock off as he has to clutch out another 1 versus 3. That'll take down Kani. He knows where Nexus is. He expects Heartbreak on the angle. He just doesn't have any ammo left to continue to take these fights and sustain him. And it will be the eco round 1 here by DNMK.
Thank goodness, to say the least. Thank goodness. The worst thing I like to see is just one misplay that causes the loss in a round. We've already seen that come out once, and I was not going to be happy if it was going to happen again. But ultimately, DNMK able to finish out that round. And Goliath's eco is not looking great. It is the last round of the half, so they have to buy up whatever they can. Only a rifle on Dweezil, a couple upgraded pistols, and 2 Mac-10s in a couple of these plays, which just suggests a fast arch play. They've thrown this arch smoke quite often, and have never really reacted off it, but Kanye's got 1 to the smoke. They're going to try to isolate the 2 players on the site. Next is going to get 1. Next is going to get a second to drop the bomb, and that was the fast A play. Not going to come to fruition for Goliath, and it's going to be a 10-5 half unless some sort of a miracle can come out of DNMK.
Yeah, no, it's 10-5 on every single day of the week. Yeah, unless they can win the 5v1, it would really require a miracle. Oh my god, Frank, what have you done? No, 10-5. 10-5, pretty much the bare minimum, right, for DNMK. They finally found their momentum there. Right at the end of that first half, Nick, they won 4 of the 5 last rounds. So, I mean, they give themselves a fighting chance. They find a bit of momentum to take into the second half as well. But they're still kind of in that position where this pistol round is going to dictate what sort of a half we're in for. Because if Goliath win this, it feels like they're on that home stretch.
Yeah, without a doubt. And yesterday, Goliath's Dust 2 CT side seemed resolute, seemed really strong, it seemed really good, but they've pushed 3 people down middle. The aggressive CT play.
Yeah, Daro. Oh my god. Do Goliath Gaming realize that the second half has started? This isn't just warm-up. They're not on the T side anymore either. The way that they're pushing so aggressively right now doesn't really tell me that they do. Heartbreak finds Massacre. That's a massive frag. Bringing it back into 3 versus 3. The problem is Goliath are committed to this right now. They can't afford to detach themselves. Oh, Divo somehow doesn't find the frag onto Adaro. Thankfully for DNMK though, they've been able to get the bomb carrier and Heartbreak up towards the B site. 1 man down here for the T side, but they will still find the plant regardless. Dara with 3 kills in the round has been the difference maker here so far. No kit on the CT side. So time is of the essence. Yeah, I was going to say Dara's just retrieved that in Banana. What do Nexus and Heartbreak do? 2 teammates who have been together for about 18 months, playing in their last event together. ADM catches Heartbreak off. Now it's on Nexus in his swan song event here with DNMK. Can he pull off the clutch shot, which just get his team into a far better position on the map? Or is he going to be going down here? Dweezil looking to stick to the fuse, going to just actually let go. Taps down Nexus, and he will be able to find the pistol round. 11-5.
Yeah, I mean, if you're DNMK there, all you got to do is you're in a 2v3. You can't really win out anything. You just got to take a fight together. And I think it was Heartbreak who won that. No, Heartbreak lost the duel towards CT, and the Nexus was able to get a nice clean one tap. But you just got to ensure you double peak something on a timing and make sure you can win that gunfight out to ensure that you're in a 2v2 sort of situation. Otherwise, there's no possible way you're going to come out on top in that sort of a situation. And what Goliath do pretty well is they pay attention to detail. Was calm that the kit was dropped in Banana, so that's why they sent numbers to retake through Banana. They ensured that 2 people went towards that side of the map. They could retrieve the kit and made the retake done a lot better. But DNMK, they got the bomb plant, so they're just going to buy up some deagles. Nexus is going to buy up some armor behind his. He did get a couple frags in the pistol round, and Nexus has been a player performing for DNMK, and that was one of the conditions that I wasn't necessarily referring to, but it's going to be an added bonus, and Heartbreak is going to take ADM's head off, and things started really well, but now mistiming on smoke pushes means Massacre can just massacre the T's rather, run through the smoke. And
Nexus, Nexus continuing to do some work. He's picked up the M4. Yeah, that armor might have helped him out a bit there as well. He was able to sustain some of that M punch. Dweezil coming up through middle needs to be careful here because Nexus, he's alive and kicking. He's having some serious impact here on the server. Kanye has the bomb in library right now, and it looks like he wants to go towards the A site. Dweezil might get caught off guard by the timing here. Next is going to be coming out of boiler. Oh, but unfortunately for him, Dweezil's spidey senses tingle. He pivots just in time. Elusive finds Kanye. A lot of damage done in the process though, Nick. It was just an eco round for DNMK, and they were able to find 3 frags. So that's definitely going to be hampering Goliath's economy in the long run. If DNMK can win this gun round, they can start to try and build their way back into this map.
Yeah, definitely. But, and that's a big but, there's a really, really good buy coming out from Goliath. Couple full bolt of utility, Massacre and Elusive, the only ones without that. But an only 3-man B play, the utility is going to do some early damage, but Massacre seemed to have pushed down Banana alone. Dweezil seemed to have left him high and dry. And now Dweezil stuck behind a smoke, and Goliath, more importantly, are a man down. Dweezil's upgraded to that M4.
Yo, man.
He's just playing behind the car. Diver's playing in the smoke. That's why. Oh, he's about to get caught out, but they're gonna swing. Oh my
god! How did DNMK lose that? How did DNMK lose that? All 3 of them are watching top banana. It's not even like there's a fancy flash or anything like that. Elusive peeks out before Dweezil. He finds 2 kills. Dweezil then goes down after finding a pick as well. Oh man, all that hard work completely spoiled. And it's not even like Goliath did anything too special there to try and win that fight out. They should have been punished there, Nick.
Clean up on Al Banana, am I right?
Yeah. Jeez, Banana smoothie. And it's got pieces of Heartbreak, Divo, and Doru floating in it as well.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
Elusive still here towards the B-bomb side by himself, by the way, and his 2 teammates on the polar opposite of the map. So it's going to be a while for those rotations to come through, and that's why Elusive has just detached himself. He's going to forfeit the plant and wait for his teammates to get on the mix so that they can make the retake a reality. They've got all the util, they've got the kits as well, and literally everything that they need to make this retake happen. ADM going to be coming up from Banana. Aladara and Elusive get the job done through back church. They're going to be grouping up and making their way forward together here. They've got that incendiary on Adaro, should be going through towards family. They know that Nexus is in the dark corner as well, so ADM's job is just to try and lock him in position. Nexus is trying to fight his way out. He's been brought down so low, and ADM eventually finishes off the frag. 13-5, that all-important gun round. Not going to be meeting ends here for DNMK. And Nick, it's sad to say though, because there was actually potential in that round for them to easily get across the line if they just won that banana fight.
Yeah, like as you were saying, like how did DNMK lose that? Like there's 3 players trained towards top banana. I don't know. I don't even know if people just whiffed, if there was a smoke fade that didn't go their way. I'm not sure. I thought DNMK should have come out on top of that gunfight every day of the week, but it just wasn't the case. And things just not going their way. And that round means that they've conceded a 13th to Goliath.
Yeah.
That was an important gun round, and just like that, the DNMK, they're back on pistols. Couple pieces of utility to work with, and you're always a massive fan of that. Is when you're buying an eco, just buy up a couple pieces of utility so you can work around it, you know. And they're gonna go for a fast horse
Massive
pop.
nade. Oh my god.
Oh, goodness.
I just nothing. ADM. Follow this up with the damage as well. You know, as that nade exploded, so did I, ADM.
Oh,
he's adding to the pleasure as well. Pleasure for me, pain for DNMK. He's gonna find an ace. No. Finally, he gets put in the grave, but the damage has been done, and Niix eventually gets taken down as well. 14-5. It's gonna be another gun round for DNMK, but it's do or die now, Nick. Do or die.
Or ADM's popping off, dude. 25-9. He is having an absolute field day. Massacre popped off last night, if you remember, to Dust. He had like 33 kills or 32 kills at the end of it.
Yeah, in like 22 rounds or something.
Yeah,
as well.
Absolutely unreal. He played super, super well. And now it's ADM who's saying, listen, Dean, you can have a backseat. I'm gonna... It's my turn.
I got this one, G. Yeah.
Oh, he's... Okay, yeah. No, he's in the grave. Rough.
Yeah, no, Massacre's like, alright bro, fine, I'm gonna watch this from your POV. I was gonna go suicide on banana so that I can get the best seat in the house to watch your demolition job. Nice first pick there, found by Divo from the side. Gonna be creating some space here for DNMK to work with. They've got a wealth of util to work with as well. What do DNMK do from here? They've taken full banana control, but they do still have Nexus posted in boiler. Looks like they're going to be leaving him there as the lurk while the rest of the team gravitate towards the B site. Dweezil is here and he's got support from Elusive as well. They only have flashes between them though, Nick, so they won't have any counter util to try and slow down this exec once it starts gaining some traction. Are they going to run boost? Or are they just boosting up right now?
I think they're just peering over the smoke.
Okay.
The smoke that was there, but fortunately isn't there anymore.
Watching that from Elusive's perspective and see that smoke. Now with 35 seconds left on the clock, the T's are going to be starting to make their way forward. Dweezil opens up one. That means he's going to be taking the attention. Elusive has a flash as well, but Dweezil's not playing off of it. He's still holding the angle, so a bit of miscommunication there perhaps. Normally, the player in the site would play behind family, wait for the flash and swing out off of it. Elusive, however, is going to have to get the job done by himself as he holds down the angle. He's got a nice position now to make sure at least that the T's won't be able to take back Church, but Heartbreak with the AWP has no fear. Takes the fight with Elusive and comes out on top. Now it's on ADM and Adara in the 2 versus 3 flashbang coming through from Adara for ADM to try and get something done. Nobody offering themselves up just yet, and off the back of that, they will be looking to just take these guns into the next round. I mean, they do have money, but just because you have cash doesn't mean you don't have to save.
Yeah, and I think ADM's sticking around for one of 2 reasons.
Exits?
First of which is that he can't cross CT. He's scared there's no CT smoke. So he's just like, and now he's going to get out. And the second of which, I think he could have tried to catch someone. Yeah, exactly. Definitely the Ninja Defuse. But he would have tried to catch someone shooting them in the back of the head. But 2 rifles have been safe. So those can be dropped over. ADM can drop over a FAMAS, maybe if he wants to buy some extra piece of utility. Or you could drop over a full M4 if he's just going to choose for the AK. Did he have a bit of extra money that I didn't see that he already dropped over one? But I mean, there's 5 rifles, so they won't be complaining.
Yeah, full gun round here for both the teams. No AWP for the CTs, but as you say, you got rifles across the board, so they should still be alright for the most part. Oh, that's a missed smoke, actually. I think Massacre through that. Dweezil managed to header it almost perfectly, channeling his inner Zlatan. And it dropped down into the ground. Nexus dropped ADM into the ground as well. So he won't be having any further impact here in the 21st round. DNMK have to start building up a bit of a platform here on this T side. They have to start stringing some rounds together and finding some consistency. They've only won 1 round here on the T side so far, and it was the previous round. They win this one, they break Goliath's economy. 14-7 anti-eco, 14-8. Still Goliath Gaming very comfortable in that position, but DNMK gonna have to just take it round by round from here. Dweezil's towards the B side by himself. Boost up coming through from Divo. Gonna be spotted out here by Dweezil. He can't find the kill, but he can find damage. Nexus, though, just continues to do work on the opposite side of the map. He will be going down. And I think that because he goes down, DNMK actually realized that they have to force the issue here on the B-bomb side. Dweezil, there is support coming through from him from Massacre, but how much can he get done before the support arrives is the question. He's been popped out there, trying to take a bit of an off angle. He will go down. Massacre spraying through the smoke though, does find Kai at least, and there's a quick flank coming through from Adaro. Massacre finding another one, making an absolute use of himself right now. Trying to find the Baart there, he won't, but he will find Divo. And Heartbreak getting off of the plant once before CSGO. Looking to try and take the Massacre. Tech 9 in hand, and Massacre just says, alright bro, I'm just going to pivot 180 and take you down. 4 kills in the round for Massacre. What a massive rotation that was from him as well, Nick. Super high impact frags coming out of the man.
Oh, just an overextension from DNMK, right? Like, Doru's taking an aggro position in towards Ruins, but he's then caught in no man's land trying to take that fight towards Massacre. And if you give Massacre 1v1, he's going to chomp at the bits at that sort of an opportunity.
He wants them, man.
Exactly.
He's the player in South Africa. He wants you to fight him.
He initially said, yo, ADM, show me what you've got. I'll die towards top banana. And then Adam died first, and he was like, okay, Adam, spec me. I'll show you how it's done. Gets 4 in that important round. And DNMK... they do have 4 rifles and AWP on the board, but not much utility to work with at all. 3 smokes, 2 molotovs, and 3 flashes to work with. And it's not the same case for Goliath. They've got so much utility to work around the map with, and it looks like this map could go into Goliath's favor unless DNMK have some sort of a miracle comeback.
You think so, Nick? You think Goliath got this?
Yes,
no, okay.
Yes, I do think they have this.
Well,
did DNMK make a miracle comeback? No, they don't.
Okay.
No disrespect to them, but it's just...
yeah, no, Nick, I don't think that's disrespectful, bruv. It's 15-6, and Goliath are looking incredible right now here on the server. Man, oh man, Massacre, he had a very high impact round in the previous, and he's already opened up with 2 in this all-important round. DNMK, they're being shut down here by Goliath Gaming. And it looks like the end is imminent here on Inferno, unless the trio of Nexus, Kani, and Heartbreak can make some sort of magic happen, but it's not looking likely, especially since the top fragger on the team has been taken down. Nexus, who's 20 and 17, just lost his life. Finally, a kill coming back for Heartbreak, but that just doesn't even really give them any control to work with. Yeah, these Kani's been able to get towards Archers. Dweezil actually being a little bit extravagant there. I'm not sure if that audacious peek was completely necessary. Kani wrapping around now. If he can find Adaro and Minipit, this round is on, but he's lost his head. Heartbreak still alive and kicking, doing his absolute best. He'll go down as well. And Goliath Gaming are the victors on map number 1. Nick, it was a clean performance from Goliath, but it has to be said that a lot of mistakes were made by DNMK on that map.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the early bird Counter-Strike coming out, like we're having midday CS. I don't know if that's playing into this, that maybe DNMK aren't completely switched on. Maybe they needed the first map to warm up, but yeah, that is something to keep in mind. That was Goliath's pick. We always speak about how confident Goliath look on Inferno, how strong they do, but the same can be said about DNMK and Mirage, right? They're super comfortable. They've won against really good teams. They wiped the floor with Sinister 5 in that map, so DNMK or Mirage, maybe it's going to be a different story.
Maybe it is. We're going to have to wait and find out, as we will be going into that second map after a short break. But before we jump into that short break, let's open up the entries for the giveaway. A 250 Rand Steam voucher courtesy of Evesports is what's up for grabs here this afternoon. Yeah, we're afternoon. That's a safe one. So, guys, get your entries in. The keyword for that is Yoba. And you will be picking the winner for that somewhere throughout the second map. So, Nick, that was a pretty quick first map. We're going to be taking a short break here. When we return, we'll have Mirage. And we'll be seeing whether DNMK have some fight left in them yet, or whether Goliath Gaming are going to be marching on into that grand final and booking themselves a rematch against ATK. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this lower bracket final between Goliath Gaming and DNMK. We just came off the back of Inferno, which was won out by Goliath, and convincingly so as well, Nick. 16-5, super one-sided performance, and they definitely dominated the affair. Coming here into Mirage, what do we have to see DNMK do differently to get across the line?
Yeah, I just think ultimately DNMK just weren't playing the CS we used to them playing. We used to them seeing cutthroat, aggressive, aim, hero sort of CS where everyone's popping off, everyone's hitting their shots, and we just didn't see that on Inferno. I don't know whether that comes to Nexus being in the team. I doubt that's one of the contributing factors. Maybe it's too early in the morning for Kani. Maybe he's only on a couple hours of sleep. I don't know. I don't know what the case is, but DNMK just didn't seem like themselves playing Inferno. You know, we usually attribute DNMK to the super aggressive, exciting Counter-Strike, and it just wasn't the case. And maybe that comes down to how Goliath approached their T side. I mean, Adam, looking on HLTV, you can toggle between the terrorist and counter-terrorist rating. Adam went 19-7 on the T side. If you think back to that, that was with a 1v4, a 1v3, and a 1v2. So he had a super solid T side performance, and maybe that's what sort of stunted DNMK's growth on the CT side.
Yeah.
And DNMK, their CT side looked decent. I mean, Nexus, he had a couple big multi-kill rounds, but three of the players, Divo, Doru, and Kani, they didn't get double digits throughout the whole map. And those were three of the players we're running into the game. We were like, if these three players pop off, Goliath are going to have a hard time. But I mean, they're not popping off at all. And Goliath made DNMK look like mincemeat.
Yeah, I mean, not only are they not popping off, they're struggling to actually make ends meet, right? Heartbreak and Nexus were sort of the only two players on the server who were actually convincing on that first map. Now, I guess the one thing that DNMK do have going for them is coming into Mirage. It's their map pick, so that'll be giving them at least a little bit of a boost of confidence coming to the series, that now they'll be finding themselves on some slightly more familiar territory. Having said that, Goliath Gaming and Mirage, it's still a combination that they should be afraid of. I mean, we've seen Goliath, be very proficient on that map in the past, in particular against ATK in that ESEA final, but in times gone by as well, it's been a map that Goliath have been very happy to play. Elusive calls the T side of that map very well, and they've got the players to be strong in that map. You think of the likes of Adaro, Massacre, these guys who want to take fights, coming out of Palace, peeking A ramp, pushing you in apartments as well. As the B anchor, you constantly have to have your wits about you because Massacre is going to be there looking to test you. So it's still going to be a tough game here for DNMK. It's not like, okay, they got destroyed on Inferno, but coming into this map, they've got a massive advantage. No, they're still going to have to work super hard to try and get the results and take us to a decider.
Yeah, definitely. I think the theme of this map for when Goliath on T side is going to be like Massacre against Diver on the B sides, and then Adaro against Nexus on the A sides. It's going to see if ADM loses a pick towards middle or Dweezil or Elusive falls, which of those players is going to take initiative towards that side of the map, because that's usually what happens, right? So as soon as you lose that mid info, that mid control, maybe you lose a couple picks in the meantime, then you wait for the aggressiveness out the ramp, out the Palace, out the apps, and stuff like that. And Massacre, he's pretty confident, right? He's one of the players who's driven by confidence. He wants to take those fights, and maybe Diver's going to have a rough time. And Diver's he's extremely experienced, extremely young. However, I've heard he's quite an emotional player. So maybe if they get in his head, maybe that's something they can abuse later on. Kani has been a player who hasn't really popped off in the previous map, but we know Trevor, we know his abilities, so maybe he just needs to flick the switch. And Doru as well, super solid player. He's going to be coming to the forefront on the T side of Mirage, thinking about how he lurks out the Palace to good effect and stuff like that. So DNMK, they've got a couple win conditions. That's going to be Doru popping off, Kani popping off, Heartbreak playing how he usually does, putting up the numbers he does, really solid T side. And Goliath's win conditions is just play your own game. ADM had a super solid performance on the T side of Inferno, and if that comes the same on Mirage, then DNMK are going to have a really tough time, because when ADM's patrolling the mid streets and it's scared to peek window for info and con for info and cat for info, maybe DNMK are going to have a tough time.
Yeah, Nick, we will be finding out, as it looks like we're going to be jumping into the map momentarily here. Of course, Goliath Gaming have the choice of sides, and they're going to be starting on the CT side, which means DNMK, they're going to be able to dictate the pace here. Maybe that's going to be a nice thing for them. I mean, we always talk about wanting to start on the CT side because it's the favored side in general. That's the rule of thumb in Counter-Strike. But, maybe it actually is going to be a better thing here for DNMK to be on the T side, so that they're not really on the receiving end here. They're not giving Goliath the chance to set the pace. They're the ones who are now going to be determined determining how this half goes about. And yeah, this is a big half for DNMK. Remember, this is the lower bracket final, guys. Loser of this game is eliminated from the event in third place. Winner progresses through to the grand final tomorrow, a best of 5 at 6 p.m. on this very channel. So make sure you clear your calendar and you book the date. Here we go, boys and girls, into the pistol round on Mirage. It's going to be Goliath on the CT side. They've got the Kits and HE on Elusive, and on the T side we've got a Smoke and 2 flashes on Heartbreak. Armor across the board outside of that, and it looks like it's going to be a potential B split here from DNMK.
Yeah, ADM spotted out a couple players towards top and middle. The smoke has been dropped for the split to come in. Massacre's going to take a duel on his own towards the apps. Now there's one player left, which is Dweezil. He's only going to be good for one. And now Goliath, 2 players with armor, one of which has already been tainted. That is of ADM. He's going to try to push the issue towards Market. He's zooming out.
Oh my god.
But can't get anything done. And maybe a bit preemptive. I don't know what the thought process was behind that. Maybe trying to catch them when they planted the bomb or when they're trying to get into their post plants. But now it's going to be a 2v4. Adara and Elusive. Not really going to have any say in this round. Everything going to go DNMK's way. 4 players stay up. 3 kills in the round from Kani. He only got 8 in the totality of last map. So he's already got a good start. And Kani, as I said, he's going to be one of the win conditions. If he pops off, he's the player lurking up. So if you're the B player, you're going to be scared to jump spot. You're going to be scared to make aggro plays because Kani is on the other side.
Nick, it does kind of feel like Goliath Gaming were riding the high from the previous map. You just saw the way that they were all taking their fights, the way Massacre just completely overstayed his welcome there in apartments, and, you know, it looked like ADM was way too far ahead of his teammates there as well. Just like these audacious plays being made by Goliath Gaming in the pistol round all get shut down, and maybe DNMK give them a slight reminder that, listen guys, you might have beaten us 16-5 in the previous map, but we still deserve some respect.
Yeah, and Heartbreak is... He's going to dry peek middle, and he's going to take a scout shot to the body, which means the scout, 69 damage at range. That means he becomes especially potent to the Steagle and the MP9 of Dweezil. 3 scouts board up, so they're just going to choose to pepper down. Let's see what they can get done. But Maska, he's going to get taken down by Kanye. That's another scout shot going to go DNMK's way, but... The important thing is you've got 2 players with 28 HP plus minus, and the fact is that you've still got 1 man up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not DNMK aren't out of the woods just yet, Nick, and it looks like they are going to be gravitating towards the A site. Dweezil's getting a lot of information right now as well, but is he going to get caught off by Divo? Yeah, thankfully for DNMK, Divo coming back up through lowers does spot Dweezil up, but that doesn't look like that's going to be forcing them to reconsider the approach. I think they're still going to be committing to this A site. 30 seconds left. This could get interesting still, you know. ADM with the scout hasn't connected. However, Elusive has. Now is on the full HP of Doru. Nade coming through. Going to be bringing Kani down even further. And now it looks like they're trying to shift back in towards the B bomb side. 18 seconds left. They'll be able to get there just in time. ADM not going to be getting across to meet them in time, though, unfortunately. So he will be able to find the following players who are getting into the bomb site, but he won't find the planter unless he actually hunts. No ways. No ways, ADM. If he can deny the plant, he wins round for Goliath, but he can't. Nearly gets in position in time. If he had just set off 1 or 2 seconds earlier, maybe then it's on, but unfortunately he gets taken down, and Kani mops up with the Daro and Elusive being put in the grave, and that's 2-0. DNMK actually make it a fairly clean anti-force buy round in the end.
Oh, that would have been insane if ADM's just able to wild out the window, deny that bomb plant. That would have been nuts to think about. But, and a big but at that, DNMK, they post 2 rounds already. A couple men staying up in the previous, which means they're going to be able to build the eco, but it's just going to be a mid-rush Heartbreak. He's already taken out, and this is going to allow for the acceleration towards the palace to come through. Amali into the con denies this retake angle. Actually, Adara's just going to push right through it. He's actually going to get down. 3-2-1 Kobe.
Dead. Yeah. I mean, if Goliath Gaming could even just find 1 more frag here, that would be a pretty good result for them, considering they start off with the eco, but that's not looking likely. Massacre with the MP9, even if he could find a pick, the extra bit of money would go a long way. He's going to be dropping down, he falls. So Kani's opened up his account nicely here on Mirage. Nick, he's up 8-0 at the moment. Only 3 kills. What's that?
Last map he was 8-20, so...
Okay, there we go.
He's already just died 20 times in a row, and it's normal.
I mean, there's 3 frags in total here for Goliath in the first 3 rounds, so they're going to hope to up the count a little bit here in this first gun round. They got the double AWP set up in play as well. ADM and Dweezil wielding the 2 weapons. And Massacre already catches a couple shots there courtesy of Kani. As you spoke about, he's going to be slightly tentative to jump peek and give Kani any opportunity to find those frags in apartments.
Yeah,
So,
without a doubt.
guys, remember, we have a giveaway open at the moment for a 250 Rand Steam voucher courtesy of Evesports. The keyword for that is Yorba. If you've answered already, don't answer again. And we'll be announcing the winner of that somewhere throughout the second map here, perhaps. Galil on Doru and Nexus. Of course, carrying those weapons through from the previous round. And that Galil is going to be opening up onto Elusive. And that's towards the A bomb site. Nice first frag found there by the T side. Going to be splitting this defense. You can see now the rotations coming through as Goliath Gaming try and shift themselves into position. ADM rotates across with the Yorp. And Nexus finds another. Finally, a kill does come back for ADM onto said player. But the man advantage persists here for the T side.
Yeah, DNMK, the only way they lose this round is by rushing into it, right? The only way they lose is if they peek angles without smokes being up. They've got a whole bunch of real estate already. Doru's going to be swinging out the palace, taking Adam down to 34 points of health. And he's even caught Massacre through the fridge of the smoke. And now, surely you save the double AWP, you're not going to get much done. I mean, Dweezil is still on the B bomb side. So ADM, yes, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. You can't really rotate out safely. But he is going to try and get out at least. So double AWP for Goliath should be saved. Unless Diver has other plans.
Yeah, he's checking it. Coming around the corner now. ADM misses his shot. So there we go. Unfortunately, won't be able to take that gun to the next round. Only Dweezil will be saving his weapon. What a clean gun round this has been out of DNMK. And they didn't even do anything that special, Nick. Nexus just found 2 frags on the entries and opened up that A bomb site. Dweezil missing his AWP shot means that he's going to be starting to get converged on here as well. As he drops down to lowers. He's going to get tested here. And Heartbreak with his knife fight actually is going to end up going down. So at least a bit of extra economic damage being inflicted. But DNMK won't mind at this point. They've won the first gun round. And they're setting themselves up very nicely here. 4-0. Yeah,
without a doubt. And Dweezil, he's only got the only AWP to work with. So how is he going to choose to push around with that AWP? And call's been not live. Fortunately, FPS bug is going to plague us.
See, Nick, if you have an i9 and a 1080, you don't actually get affected by the FPS bug.
Is that true?
Well, I mean, you do, but your FPS still drops to like 140 from 400, so it's not like it drops to 30. So it's still playable. So you kind of get, like when I play matchmaking with my friends, it was like, oh, FPS bug, I have 15 frames. That's when I just pull the SMG out and I just start rushing the other team because I know that they're feeling it as well. Oh,
yeah, that's really
horrible.
You know, this is why you're not liked by anyone.
I know. Downright disgusting. Oh man. Okay, so we'll be kicking things off back here once again as we restart the round. And Goliath Gaming probably going to enjoy this this extra break because they can discuss how they're going to be changing things up, right? On the CT side here, things haven't actually gone too well for them in the early stages of Mirage.
Yeah, and it just comes down to the first gun round. Nexus just lurked out the ramp. I mean, if you take out the pistol and the force spy and the eco, the first gun round, Nexus just lurks out the ramp. He catches one, and the bulk Elusive seemed to have zero clue that that was even a possibility. Not calling for a flash to clear that angle or anything. He just sort of dry peeked and ultimately fell to Nexus. Ooh, Doru gets dinged for 53. What?
Yeah, just clipped through the edge of the wall there, I think. And the Elusive actually swinging out. We'll find Nexus. Massacre finishes off what he started on to Doru. And that means we have a 5 versus 3 here, Nick. Weapons been retrieved as well. And this is a disaster situation for DNMK. Kani, Heartbreak, and Divo haven't even spotted a CT player yet. But they realize now that they have to try and fight their way through the 3 versus 5. This is not ideal. And now they're going to work their way in towards this B bomb site. There's a player there, and Dweezil's in position to pivot across and aid the defense. So DNMK find themselves in a pretty awkward position right now in this all-important round. I mean, was it necessary to be taking those early fights towards A ramp? That's the question we have to be asking ourselves right now. Nodaro finds Kani towards Connector, and these players in lows are going to be hurt as well. So not taking the discreet approach right now is Heartbreak as he leads the charge with the AWP, but Goliath Gaming know exactly what's going on right now. They've got all the information in the world. Going to go for the boost-up play. Divo into sniper he goes, but Adara is ready and waiting. And it doesn't even look like the DNMK are going to find a single frag in this round unless Heartbreak can get one back with the AWP. But they know where he is, so all he can do is try and fight his way through this, and he's going to get taken down. Nick, in that eco round, Goliath Gaming lost 35 health on one player. That's all.
That was a sick play that over towards A. You know, Massacre takes contact, or he did some damage towards Dory towards the ramp, and then an immediate flash came in afterwards, either to kill the low HP player or hopefully try to catch someone out, and it was the latter of which. And Niix just got caught out close towards the ramp, gets 1D, then Dory's going to try repeat to help his teammate, gets taken out by the Overwatch of Massacre, and Dweezil's pushing up middle. He's going to catch out Heartbreak, and Man Advance is really going to go the way of I mean, not of Massacre, what am I saying? Of Massacre the board.
They are a team, you know. They are a team. It's not just Mass. Even though last night's performance on Dust 2 might have led you to believe otherwise. Oh, and ADM with his AWP finds a frag as well. The double AWP's already wreaking havoc here in the 6th round for Goliath Gaming. And I love that play from Dweezil as well, by the way. But Doru on the angle, and Palace does what Doru does best. And he finds the timing. Dweezil with a slight lapse in concentration there discounts the fact that somebody could be in Palace. And Adaro just wants to make sure he stays alive here. So DNMK perhaps been offered a lifeline. The bomb is still in spawn though, and Divo, he finds ADM. So this is where things start to get interesting. Both of the AWPs have been taken down. Adaro and Connected though will take down Nexus. And that should be the beginning of the end. They know where Divo is. So for him to clutch one more from here is near impossible, and he goes down. Like I was saying, I really like to see Dweezil making those sorts of plays at the start of the round. Taking initiative with the AWP, because now he's going to be in the heads for the rest of the half, right? They're constantly going to be wary about whether the CT AWPer is making a play towards middle.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got to put numbers towards that side of the map, and then maybe you can single out one of the lurkers towards the extremity.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know...
Shampoo and conditioning, bro.
Exactly, and then... Next thing you know, you're clutching at straws. You don't know what they're going to do. You're playing their own game. Dweezil's now in the connect. The Nexus is going to rush window. ADM's
oh my god.
Stripped his load off. Now Nexus can upgrade to an AWP. He's got a...
Oh my god. No way, bro. Nexus with some clean movement. And the AWP is on an absolute tear. Finally, Elusive has been brought to an end his reign of terror, but he's going to get overwhelmed. Divo and Kani chiming in together to find the kill. Elusive probably overstaying his welcome there as he extends the fight, and it's Massacre left in the 1v3. Goliath Gaming dropping the ball here. And I mean, I say Goliath dropped the ball, but Nexus didn't really give them. He slapped the ball out of the hand. And now it's Massacre to try and salvage the situation, but Kani with the AWP has already got his sights trained towards CT as I say that. Foregoes the angle for a brief moment. Massacre's edging his way forward. Spots out Kani, but this is practically unwinnable. He doesn't have any util. And if I'm Massacre, I'm just saving my AK from here. Because there's no way for him to find either of these remaining players, and Kani's going to deny him that opportunity. DNMK, they give Goliath a taste of their own medicine, Nick.
That just happened. Nexus just runs middle, jumps window, 1DX, one guy, gets an AWP, quick scopes the next guy, quick scopes the next guy.
Yeah, bro.
Eco, dude. That was
why.
Brought up was Diver, and then
why are more people not warming up in Rust, Nick?
Yeah, exactly. Like Oaks, Restoria main or Stevia's 2x. Get with it. Get with the time.
Well, it's clearly working for Nexus because he has had one of the better series I've seen out of him in a long time here. He has been amazing. He's just taken this game by the scruff of the neck. No damn given in the world. Another gun round here. Goliath Gaming affording another round of weapons. But they've lost a player early on. ADM has been taken down. Bit of damage been done, but still the man advantage for the T side as they start to shift themselves back towards middle.
Yeah, look at the utility from Goliath, right? Playing retake is not an option in this round. They're going to fight to the death on whichever side of the map they choose to. That's why Dweezil's going to line up a deep flash towards the apps for Massacre to try and get this information. The person playing close is going to be Kani, so he's going to hear this and he's going to try and catch out this aggression from Massacre.
Oh man,
he's just been taken down, so that's going to be the B bomb site that could be under question. That's why Kani's going to try and push the issue, but it is actually going to be the A site that DNMK are going to choose to go to. Dweezil has got the sound cue that it is only one. Seems to have run out of mouse pad or something there. I don't know what that was, but I mean, there's one player left in the same bomb site. There's going to be a Dara, and he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's going to get some work done. He's caught one out.
Oh no.
Been taken out.
Yeah, I liked his decision there, though, after finding the frag. He wanted to try and preserve his life so that his teammates could join him on the retake, but he does get chased down and taken down. Doru brought down low as well. Lucky to actually be alive, but not for much longer. Elusive will still be able to hunt him. And now it's 2 versus 2. Elusive, he's found Divo as well. Nick, it's spiraling out of control here. It's only Nexus left remaining, the hero in the previous eco round, to try and salvage the situation. He does take down Dweezil, and now it's him against the illustrious seasoned IGL, and he finds the frag as well. Nexus just can't be stopped here in this series.
I just think that was an overface towards CT from Dweezil, right? Like, he gave him a free 1v1. If Dweezil in that sort of situation is just staying alive and just hiding behind the ticket and making Nexus take that gunfight, then it allows Elusive to come in or even rotate.
100%, bro.
Completely different. You have kits, you can take your time. But Nexus, he's been playing out of his mind this series. We were saying, oh yeah, he's getting dropped. He's playing sort of free-flowing. He's doing whatever he wants. We saw that sick round come in from him previously with the Deagle jumping into window. And now he's going to get a 1v2 in a round that felt like the next one. So things are going really well for Nexus and DNMK. It seems like maybe Nexus is playing a bit too out of their minds for their liking, because you never like that, you know? You've just dropped a player. Now you're like, yeah, he was the reason. I'm gonna play better. And now they're fragging and effectively carrying. Okay, carrying's a stretch, but
I mean, he's
playing well. He's playing well.
Definitely been the reason that they've won 1 or 2 rounds here on Mirage already alone, and probably the reason that they were able to find 5 rounds on Inferno. So he's definitely doing a large chunk of the work. Bit of damage been inflicted in this round. It's another eco here for Goliath. ADM was watching the entire time towards Palace. Thankfully for him, he will still be able to find that shot, but a quick flurry of frags does still come back the way of DNMK. Not without taking some more damage, though. So, I mean, these Desert Eagles are still in with the shout. But this T side is looking pretty good so far from DNMK. Adara's being heard out as well, so Divo will be in position in time to shut him down. This should be the beginning of the end.
Yeah. Just 80. He does actually get one shot onto Nexus, so that is some eco damage, all things considered. However, find themselves 5 rounds down, and Goliath, they chose to start on the CT side, and Mirage is one of the most 50-50 maps. You see teams literally 11-4 CT side, 11-4 T side. Really comes down to your playstyle and how you choose to play the map. So Goliath definitely aren't going to be getting ahead of themselves, saying they're not going to be extremely stressed. It's just how the map plays out. So, oh my God, you saw him. You saw him,
yeah, bruv. Unscoped at the unfortunate moment there. He looks like he wants to retake this fight, and Kani punishes him in the most ultimate manner possible. Destroys him with the headshots, and that's another opening frag going the way of DNMK, and it looks like Kanye wants to try and find more than that, but eventually realizes that's probably ill-advised. I think he spotted out 2 players towards the B side as well, so that's a lot of information for the T side to work with. But this is, I mean, as you say, it's not panic stations yet for Goliath, but 2-7, and if they lose this gun round, 2-8, no money in the bank, that's when it seems like, or that's when I think the warning bells, the warning alarms should start to go off.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And Nexus, he's again going to push the issue over towards Cat. Massacre and Adara have got a couple, so just like that, it was a 5v3. Couple frags go the way of Goliath. 2 towards Adara, 1 towards Massacre. Now it's Dora and Heartbreak. Full vault of utility on both of them. A rifle and an AWP on Heartbreak. Well, not both of them. He's not akimboing the 2 weapons. He's got a rifle on Dora and an AWP on Heartbreak. So they're going to try and contact up Cat. And if Dweezil, or who's opening towards apps, Massacre doesn't have his wits about him. He could fall prey to this contact up Cat play. Goliath aren't playing information towards this area of the map, so Massacre should understand this is a possibility, and that's why I think he's taking such an aggro line towards apps. He's going to hear that util come out, and now he understands. And DNMK also understand that this is a possibility, that he is towards this side of the map. Decent nade going to go out towards Doru. Smoke in response towards Cat. But Adara's just going to push the issue and catch Doru out. Now it's Heartbreak left. The 1v3, AWP in hand. Can he get anything done?
Very tough position he finds himself in right now. He has to try and find 3 1 versus 1s to pick up these players as they make their way forward. Adara waiting for his teammate to join him on catwalk, and now Heartbreak's been spotted out. Nice first shot though as he takes on ADM. He swings out and finds Adara as well, but Massacre not going to be missing his shot. That all-important shot does come through, and Goliath Gaming probably collectively breathing a sigh of relief, as Massacre will just find the defuse in time, Nick, and Goliath Gaming win that round, courtesy of Adara and Massacre. The 2 of them find all 5 frags, and as you noted, it was a 3 versus 5. that Goliath Gaming are able to actually convert into their 3rd round win. So that's a big let-off. And look at the economic situation here on both of these teams, Nick. They're scraping together pots and pans to try and make something happen. But whoever loses this round is going to have to eco.
Yeah, this is a really big round for both teams. And it looks like DNMK are just going to try to push the issue towards this B side. They're going to choose to rush it. They're going to throw a couple flashbangs over the top. Dweezil's playing close to the MP9, which could be particularly potent. But the spacing is just...
Oh my god.
Dweezil's got 2 in a little bit, so now Maska's dropped down Cunny. Heartbreak is going to try to push the issue, but Maska towards the back of the sides. A nice reposition comes out from him, but Heartbreak gonna win it out, but ADM is close in the rotates. Now it's Doru left in a 1v3 turn. 1v2. Doru is going to take down Adara, a bit preemptive on the peak there from Tyler.
Yeah. 1 versus 2 is winnable here for Doru, you know.
Is it?
I mean, it was winnable. He just didn't win it. And a great job there on the B defense. Dweezil finding those 2 frags was really what set things in motion in the round for Goliath. Massacre also able to find a pick. I thought maybe he overstayed his welcome. I don't actually mind seeing the CT player on the B bomb site once he's lost his teammate retreat back into market and like forfeit the bomb site so that he can wait for his teammates to rotate in. Because sometimes if you get overwhelmed, then it can still be a bit tough for your team, but in the end, they get the job done. This has to be a clean round from Goliath, Nick. They have to start building up a bit of an economy here, and it looks like they won't have any issue doing exactly that. They keep all 5 players alive without even taking a single point of damage. This time it's ADM and Adara who find all 5 frags, and 5-7 is the scoreline as Goliath Gaming actually start to mount themselves a bit of a platform here on the CT side.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to comment on that B-side take is the spacing just seems to be a bit off. It's usually the first 2 entry fraggers, it's both of their faults when the spacing isn't there. Usually it's on the first guy to hold back and wait for his teammate to get closer, and it's on the second guy to say, "Hey bro, hold back. I'm not like close to you. Just
hey bro,
a couple seconds." But Niix upside up super quickly and gives a free 1v1. Maska just flashed himself. I'm gonna act like I never saw that.
No, nobody did.
Yeah, dude,
we didn't catch that on stream, so that's cool.
Doru actually flashed apps from spawn, and that was a Maska was and then big frag, sick opening kill coming out from Kani.
Yeah, I mean, didn't get the assist, but you know, CS things, Adaro, he's only going to be able to find 1 before he goes down in a bit of no man's land there. ADM still has the angle with the AWP though, and Nexus does get taken down. I don't know if Nexus had a flash there or not, but if he did, then that was a bit of a misplay from him. And now we're going to be seeing the bomb shifted in towards the B side. Elusive seems like he's made the read as well. Going to be flashing into apartments for Dweezil to peek off of, but he's not going to be spotting anything, so that might be a bit of info for them to play off. As that bomb starts to get shifted across towards the A side, Doru is in position right now. He's going to try to find the timing on ADM, and he shouldn't have any issue finding the timing here. Coming around the corner, and it's an extended spray, but achieves the desired result regardless. And now Elusive has shifted himself into position, rattling off the shots, yet to connect. Goliath gonna have to try and make this work in a 2 versus 3. Elusive firing off the shots downrange will eventually fall to Doru. And that should be the end, unless Dweezil can win 1v3. He's been able to deny the plant, but thankfully for DNMK, Doru will be the hero of the day as he takes down Dweezil and secures the round 8-5. Back to winning ways for DNMK. Nick, though, what we've seen in the past is that Goliath have been the most convincing on the T side, right? So, I mean, 8 rounds for me feels like it might not be enough for DNMK in this first half.
Yeah, I think it is going to be extremely interesting to see how the second half plays out. And in all honesty, towards the B side of the map, that round, imagine if Maska didn't flash himself. Imagine he got a flash from a teammate and he gets that opening pick. The round is a completely different complexion. Only 2 people stay up from DNMK, and Adara is going to take out Kani early in this one. Now they understand Kani, he's been the player playing over towards B. Now they understand it could be an A play, so ADM, he's going to catch Doru trying to get out the apps and still hold a really aggro line, and unfortunately that's going to be his demise. Next is going to get that frag, a player really showing up for DNMK.
Heartbreak sitting in the smoke right here. I'm surely Dweezil knows this, right? Because he crossed right in front of him. Now Heartbreak, thankfully for him, has been able to get back to CT safely as the bomb ticks on. It is a 2 versus 4 though, and Heartbreak's going to have to find strike towards CT if DNMK are going to stand any chance in securing the post plant. He does force the issue and come out on top of that duel against Massacre, but he's lost his life in the end, and now it's just Nexus left remaining, and he goes down as well. Great retake coming out of Goliath. It's going to be 6-8. There will be some cash in the bank here for DNMK, but it's not going to be that much money, Nick. So an 8-7 scoreline certainly on the cards here. And Goliath probably would have snapped your arm off if you had offered them this a couple rounds ago. I mean, lest we forget they were down 7-2 at one stage, Nick, which means that DNMK have only won 1 of the past 5 rounds.
Yeah, and I don't know what sort of flick that Goliath switched, because they were 7-2 down at a stage, and things are looking really good from them now, all things considered. They're having a really couple convincing rounds, and yes, there was a couple rounds where Massacre may or may not have flashed himself, but they're just going to try to turn the issue, change
Oh
of
my
pace.
god, oh my god, Adaro! Oh my god, he just holds down mouse button 1, he sprays Nexus, Kani and Divo. Yeah, Elusive gets some chip damage in on the mix as well, but they didn't even see any of those players. Smokes aren't walls, ladies and gents. Dora and Heartbreak looking to try and break the wall on the B bomb side, but the defense is set up already emphatically here. The players are in position and the names are being taken. Dora and Heartbreak go down 7-8 as the scoreline, and Goliath Gaming, by winning 5 of the last 6 rounds, have secured themselves in 7th round to take into the second half. Nick, I think that they'll be very, very happy with that. Considering the game was the way that the game was at one stage, right?
100%. I think also considering that they were 7-2 down at one stage, and considering, as you mentioned, Goliath find themselves comfortable on the T side. They get the majority of the rounds, on that side of the map. And what they did what ATK did extremely interesting yesterday is they did the standard smoke, stairs, and jungle, and then they actually flashed through the stairs smoke and took jungle instead of CT, which is sort of like the standard position where your CT player is playing retake from. But it does look like Goliath are going to go for a pretty different approach. Just smoke top con and double flashes out. Nexus only going to be good for one towards Sandwich. He's in a bit of an island over towards the site, pretty much left to die, fight to the death. Kani's going to be holding this aggressive line, push jungle and catch ADM, but premature on the push. But Adaro's planted front triple. Now the post plants have been established from the side of Goliath. Like DNMK are mopping them up.
Yeah, the flank here from Massacre is the key in the round. Finally finds the frag onto Divo, and Adara finds Heartbreak as well. Massacre and Adara have been the shining lights for Goliath Gaming here on Mirage. Can they do the job again? Flashing towards ramp, nobody on the defuse. They're trying to force the issue, but Adara's been able to stay alive. Now they're trying to hunt down Massacre because they know that he's holding the cross on the side. Massacre, if you stay alive for this long, if Madman tapping away, he will eventually fall to Kani, but so much time has ticked on here, and now it's just Kani left. He's going to try to stick the defuse. Mango peeking out, just has to land the one tap, and he does. The triple kill in the round for Adaro secures the deal. What did we just witness, Nick? It spirals out of control for DNMK. A round which was looking so likely. It was a 2 versus 4 again, in which they dropped the ball.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with DNMK today, dude. Like, imagine they win all the rounds they're supposed to win, which sounds like super counterintuitive, but imagine they did that, and Dweezil, he's just going to peek out on against the eco. You love this. You love the ego frags. You always talk about them. Hopefully the SMGs can farm. And when I say the SMG, I mean the rifle of Elusive. Hopefully you can get that extra kill bonus and see what he can get done. But it's Goliath's T side. It's something they pride themselves in. They find themselves really comfortable on it. Elusive calls, as you said, calls a pretty good T side Mirage. So how do Goliath choose to approach this, and how do DNMK choose to mitigate what Goliath have in their pockets? Now DNMK, they've been losing rounds they shouldn't be losing on Inferno as well as Mirage, and they're looking pretty polished coming into the second half, and maybe the gun rounds are going to look the same.
I mean, Nick, they're going to be pulling ahead for the first time here on Mirage, which means that they're going to be up 9-8, okay? And it just feels like that 7-2 scoreline that DNMK is in a distant land far, far away, right? That 7-2 scoreline, it's been eviscerated. It's been absolutely eviscerated. And Goliath Gaming, they're dictating everything right now. They're controlling the game. It's going to be another eco, but yeah, this is getting a little bit awkward now for DNMK, to say the least. The one thing I will say, because we've got a bit of time to talk about here, I think that Goliath Gaming have always been fine on their T sides. I think it's actually their CT sides that have let them down the most, and that's not only because they've struggled on the CT sides, but it's because it seems in general South African teams are just better on the T side. And not only that, but ATK in particular, you know, their T sides have always been prolific. So it's not, it's like a double whammy, right? Yes, they've been struggling on their CT sides in general, but ATK's Goliath have struggled on their CT sides, but ATK's T sides have made life that much more difficult for them. So it is understandable. Let's shift our focus into this round because it's looking like things might be getting slightly interesting. Somehow Doru's been able to find the bomb carrier. Elusive's going to get caught off here by Kani as well, but Kani just missing so many shots will eventually go down. He had 7 opportunities, 7 bites at the apple, and it's not going to be coming through for him. And Elusive has got the flank under wraps, so big round coming out of the IGL. The bomb carrier, oh, Massacre, absolutely had to win that fight against Doru to get that bomb across into the B bomb side. This round was quite awkward from Goliath, Nick. They split 2-2 on the map, and they nearly actually get overwhelmed.
Yeah, and then they split 2-2, as you said, and Dweezil, he was over towards the A bomb site with the bomb, and he just chose to get out, and he ran all the way through CT with the help of his teammates, and ultimately the bomb was planted on the B site, and that was an eco round coming out from DNMK. The reason being is they wanted to get the double AWP up, so they didn't fully invest into the previous, as well as the fact that they did some extra damage, so now they got pretty much a better buy than the side. Oh, never mind. They definitely do not have a better buy. I was looking at the eco situation, the util situation, not looking too great.
Oh, Niix is trying to peek above the fire, himself and his teammate looking to get aggressive, and it's going to work out perfectly. The silenced criminals both find a frag apiece, and they get out untraded. So that's the perfect start to this all-important gun round for DNMK. And Heartbreak is going to find ADM as well. So this is looking much better from DNMK. Hopefully for their sake, this is going to allow them to settle themselves into the occasion on the T side. Goliath Gaming just testing them, right? Taking some early fights towards A ramp, looking to see if they can find those opening picks and force the defense to shift. Dara will be mollying towards ramp, but it doesn't go deep enough. Once that AK pop flashing himself, he will be able to grab the AK and get himself back with the bomb on his back. But he's relying heavily on Massacre. Massacre has to try and find some sort of way to get into this round right now, and Adara will get chased down. So, mere formality. All 5 players end up staying alive. Great work by DNMK in this gun round, in particular Doru and Nexus.
Yeah, just that aggro play towards the ramp just bared the fruits of its existence, and 2 early frags going to go the way of DNMK in that round, and Heartbreak was just trained toward the bottom of Connect, and ADM tried to push the issue after he lost a couple frags early, and then he got taken out. So it was 2v5 pretty much 30-40 seconds into the round. There's going to be a partial buy coming out, a couple upgraded pistols.
Oh, nice.
Mac 10, no armor, so he's going to try to get up close and personal. Divo shot the smoke onto the side, which is a bit defensive. He can play around him and ensure that he can't get pinched from 2 of these positions, singling out these gunfights. This is why Divo is so good on the B bomb sites. He knows he's so comfortable. Oh, a dink going to go the way of Kani. So now the bomb's going to be planted. The post plants have been established. And now if you're Goliath, you just got to make sure you take a fight together, ensure that you get another kill going your way. That's what they've tried to do, but
I thought that was audacious. When I saw him...
That was but it worked.
When I saw him commit to the transfer and just keep committing to the spray, I was like, "Aight, Nexus." I mean, we all do it. We all do that. We hope to connect on the stray bullet, but you're going to get traded. Oh, okay. Finds a second kill as well. 10-10. Off the back of that anti-eco round. Nice bomb plant found by Goliath at least, so they'll be able to full buy in this round. But this is as close as it could possibly be between these 2 teams right now, and that's exactly what we wanted here in the slower bracket final. Both of these teams taking it the distance, fighting tooth and nail. Will we see the light of the 3rd map, Dust 2, the decider, which is the historic decider, by the way, between these 2 teams? Comic-Con finals, or Comic-Con low bracket final, rather, 2020.
Yeah, an MMO iconic duo and DNMK and Goliath in the consolidation / low bracket final.
Yeah. Oh man, big round here for Goliath Gaming. No money in the bank if they lose this, and DNMK will be pulling ahead once again. But Dweezil with his AWP catches Nexus and napping with that angle. He finds the frag, but it does come back for Divo into Massacre towards B. Oh, nice pivot there from Doru to find Adaro as well. So that owns the 1-man advantage here in the round for DNMK. A round which is looking a bit awkward for them at one point. Doru able to find another frag. Great work coming out of him. ADM now and Dweezil tasked with trying to get this round across the line for Goliath Gaming. Dweezil going to be planting for CT while ADM holds down the line, and we're going to see a double peek. There's 2 AWPers here in CT at the moment, and both of them find a frag on the 2 remaining players for Goliath Gaming, so works out perfectly, and DNMK get themselves ahead here once again, Nick. 11-10. They're grinding this one out.
Yeah, they definitely are. That was a buy round from Goliath, and DNMK made it look pretty good. 3 people staying up, and the double AWP, more importantly, being able to to keep in the hands of Kanye and Heartbreak respectively. And I look at the eco, Heartbreak 10k, Kanye 7k, Doru, Nexus, and Dive are sorted for next couple of rounds if they do lose a couple of them. And Goliath, they've seemed to hit a brick wall. They haven't had much success so far on their T side, but maybe they just need to take time out to talk things over, talk about the holes that they can possibly abuse, and maybe ADMs have found one of them towards top of middle. He's going to take Heartbreaks, head off towards Cat. Able to upgrade to that AWP, but the B bomb side is going to be pressured. But no luck is going to be found from Goliath, I say that. But Kanye's on 16 points of health in the back of the bomb site, and maybe he's going to get taken out in a moment's notice, but players are going to be here. And if you're Goliath, you're living on borrowed time.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, right? Because there was a world in which Kanye just ever so slightly overextends and then maybe falls to Dweezil's take 9. Dweezil gets the AWP, and well, we saw what Nexus was able to do with that gun when they were on the T side in their eco round. 12-10 here. DNMK asserting themselves on the server, and now, Nick, they've proven that they have what it takes to get across the line here on Mirage, because they've won these gun rounds on the CT side. They've been able to shut Goliath down. It looks like Goliath are going to keep on persisting with the default right now. The 2-1-2 split. ADM by himself towards top middle. 2 players towards B, 1 in lowers, and of which 1 is in lowers. And then 2 players prying towards the A site at the moment.
Yeah, and the utility for Goliath is not looking good early in the round. When you're throwing the aggressive lurk smoke towards B and you're throwing the double smokes towards middle early in the round, it's a bit expensive in the util game. And just like that, Dweezil and Elusive have got the only smokes to work with. So now that cuts off your options. What can you do? You can't really A execute. You've only got 2 smokes. If you do A execute, what smokes do you do? Deep jungle, top con maybe? Those are the 2 smokes. You take the fight into the site. Maybe you choose like CT jungle, molly stairs, etc, etc. Those are the things that are going to be going through Goliath's head. But maybe they're just going to choose the contact approach.
Oh my god.
It's going to be the first to fall. 99 damage done. But the most important thing is that it's 100 to kill in Counter-Strike. Doru's flash, but he's not going to be blinded. He's going to be good. He actually kills ADM towards Sandwich.
Elusive though. Yeah, he's got the rotation cut out under control. Kanye finds Massacre. That's so unfortunate because the bomb is in a very awkward position right now. And Elusive has to try and clutch out the 1 versus 2. 30 seconds left on the clock. First he needs to retrieve the bomb, and then he needs to try and get himself in towards the site. So this is just looking increasingly unlikely. Nice little jump across there from him, but is he already accepting his fate and saving? 18 seconds left. He doesn't really have time to work with. And the problem is that if he saves, his economy becomes very disjointed from the rest of his teammates. Nick, somebody needs to warn him about the timer. 7 seconds left here. He's waiting to find something, and the only thing he's going to be finding is a bullet courtesy of Heartbreak. Storb 13-10. The gun round not working out for Goliath Gaming. And yeah, things starting to really lean DNMK's favor here, Nick. They just need 3 more rounds to take the map away and for us to go to a 3rd. We will have a timeout here being called by Goliath.
I'm a fan of it, but I'm also not a fan of it because I'm a massive advocate of using your timeouts proactively rather than reactively. You're in this situation where you've lost gun rounds in a row, you haven't found success in your T side, you've lost 5 rounds in a row, and now you're like, oh, I guess now's a good time to take a timeout because we're losing. But it would be a lot better maybe before last round, before the big gun round, because now you're taking a timeout before an eco, so it doesn't actually matter. Maybe, okay, they're going to take a double timeout. So, but the points I'm trying to make is take the timeout before the big gun round, not after it, you know? Take that extra 3 seconds of freeze time where you can speak about it and maybe have a clearer idea going into the round. What goals can you achieve? You know, maybe you can abuse certain holes. Heartbreak making the cat jump, he's been found out a couple times with ADM lurking middle. Nexus seems to, in the mid-round, lose sort of his idea of how to play A. He's using his utility early, so he's not necessarily playing retake. So maybe a delayed A execute could be an option. Maybe a walkout palace. Using Doru playing connector, but freely. Stuff like that. That's all the stuff going to be going through Goliath's head. I speak about a back-to-back. It's actually going to be a back-to-back-to-back timeout. They're taking 3 timeouts. So I'm using it proactively, and they're actually just going to take an extra 1 minute 30 seconds of freeze time. They take 4. Maybe they use 4 of them at one stage. I want to be a fan of that, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to keep at least 1 in the pocket in case anything goes wrong. Maybe the game goes to overtime and they need to discuss and they need an opportunity to discuss things then. So, yeah, it will just be the 3 timeouts, and it's going to be an eco round. So let's see what sort of effect Elusive's words are going to be having on the team coming into this eco. They've got more than enough money to buy up some util here because of the round loss bonus that they have behind them right now. And it looks like they're just going to be committing to the AA exec from spawn. ADM showing some presence towards top middle just so that it's not that predictable for DNMK. And after he shows some mid presence, he shifts across to B. So it's just about flexing right now. They're just trying to, they're faking it out here by just trying to show some presence on the opposite side of the map. All in the meantime, this main hit is going to be coming through towards the A bomb side. Seems like DNMK are content to just play for the retake, which is exactly as they should be doing. No need to force the issue. It's actually Goliath who forced the issue. Heartbreak missing a shot with his off, pulls up the sidearm, and he'll be falling to Massacre. That's an AWP to play with. The bomb gets planted as well. Nexus, though, with the response, will be able to find 2 frags. And it means Massacre's the only player left remaining in the round. 1 versus 2, he's been smoked off. That's the end of the round. Kani's just going to stick the defuse. Massacre will be heard here as well. So even if he finds the frag on Diver, the round is still going to be over. And he goes down without saving the orb. 14-10. DNMK making moves here on Mirage. And Nick, look at the money. They're going to be able to buy up for the rest of this half.
Yeah, DNMK's money is looking really, really luscious, and they've got fat pockets. You're sitting down in your wallet and you're feeling a little bit of a thing on your cake, you know what I'm saying? But thick, everything going DNMK's way. Now that we're gonna see whether that triple timeout, that back-to-back-to-back timeout's gonna find its rewards. It's the gun round. It's all important. They took it before the eco. The eco was relatively successful. 3 kills as well as a bomb plant, so they did some economical damage as well as they built up some economy of their own. But now it's what do Goliath do? They've gone for a bit of a different approach. They've sent 3 players, or 4 players rather, towards middle, 1 player lurking towards the A side of the map, which does suggest some sort of an A split coming out from there. Maybe a deep jungle smoke going to be thrown out from one of the A players. Or Dweezil, where's Dweezil's top mid? Okay, so what smoke is he lining up?
I think it is the deep jungle smoke.
Jungle, yeah. And they can split the site, which is actually going to be really good. They can also go...
Yeah.
So this is actually going to be really good. They can single out these 2 players to the site. The connectors guys take first contact, and then the player in ramp can pivot out. So Elusive is going to die first, and now there's 1 player towards CT who does have an AWP, and now he's stuck behind a molly. He's going to swing out. Great round coming out from Goliath. Now you're just going to stick the post plants. Make sure you don't give out easy frags.
Yeah, it's still 3 versus 3 here, right? Not out of the woods just yet, and Massacre's been taken down by Divo, so all this hard work in the exit could be completely undone if DNMK can find the success on the retake. It's a 2 versus 3, and Adara's been taken down as well. They're spotted out Elusive. Nick, oh my god, what was just looking like a perfect round from Goliath Gaming gets eviscerated by DNMK. They make the retake look so easy, but I agree, that was a fantastic exec, a great strat, a great call, and very well executed as well. You know, it's one thing committing to the execute, but executing the executes is another thing altogether, and they managed to do it perfectly. But they can't complete the final stage of the round, which is the post plant, and now it's 15-10. 1 more round here, and DNMK will be securing themselves the 1-1 scoreline and taking us into the decider here in the lower bracket final.
Yeah, and Goliath, they finally found a bit of success in their gun round. However, they didn't post the all-important gun round. 15-10 down now. The backs are against the wall. Now let's see if they can have a bit of a different outlook. Because last round it was good, as you said. Really well executed executes. And... yeah, it's kind of a weird one to say, really.
I know, right? But it does make sense.
Yeah, so...
they're on each other's wavelength, that's what matters.
So it worked well, but I don't know what happened in the post, because that was a 4v3, I believe.
Yeah.
Then someone pushed us, I don't know what happened, but... looks like they're just going to group for some sort of a B play with an A fake.
Yeah, showing presence towards the A sites at the moment.
Oh, they're
Double
not...
smokes coming through. There's still 2 players on this B bomb side, and Elusive, he takes a lot of damage. He needs to find a frag there to try and sell this fake, but doesn't have the time. His teammates, they're going to be executing in towards this B bomb side. Heartbreak and Divo, the 2 players on this part of the map right now to try and keep control, and Divo doing a fantastic job with the double kill. He keeps himself alive as well, and he finds ADM. Oh my god, so much progress made in this round for DNMK. It's only Elusive left remaining, and I don't think that he's going to be able to get much done here, Nick. It is the perfect round coming out of DNMK here on Mirage to close out the map and take us to a 3rd map of the series. unless Elusive can find some way to get himself into the side here, but it's the crossfire of death set up at the moment, and he'll be falling to Doru. 16-10, DNMK, they win out their map pick, and they keep themselves in the hunt here. Nick, that was a great display of mental fortitude and tenacity coming out of DNMK, considering the walloping that they received on the first map. To come back into the second map of the series and perform as they did is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about the win conditions, pretty much Doru, Diver, and Kanye, and all of which performed, right? They had a really good performance. Nexus had a really important couple rounds. Same could be said about Heartbreak. So ultimately, from DNMK's point of view, everyone showed up, everyone came up to the party, and they were able to win it out 16-10. So now it's onto the third map. Now it's anyone's game. You've won each other's map picks, you've traded. Now it's 1-1 in the series. Now it's a best of 1 to ensure who wins the best of 3 effectively, and whoever books their spot in the grand final.
Exactly that, Nick. Guys, we're going to be taking a short break. When we return, we will have Dust 2. Remember, we've got a giveaway open at the moment for a 250 Rand Steam voucher, only open to South African residents. The keyword for that is Yoba. If you've entered already, don't enter again. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the third map of the series. Don't go anywhere.
Your mic's muted, Matt.
Oh, my mic is muted. I'm coughing. I think I'm on the intro, but I'm not. Disaster struck. Goliath Gaming lost the previous map. That's the disaster I'm talking about, Nick. As we are about to jump into the third map of the series here, guys. It's going to be Dust 2, the decider between DNMK and Goliath Gaming. We started off the series all the way on Inferno. Won convincingly by Goliath 16-5. Then we went on to Mirage. Won convincingly by DNMK 16-10. Now we're into the decider, Nick. Dust 2 to determine who is going to be going into the grand final and who will be eliminated from the event.
Yeah, this is super interesting. I'm looking at the Mirage stats, and if you look at the Inferno scoreboard for DNMK and you flip it around, it's exactly the same. So Heartbreak went from top fragging on Inferno to bottom fragging on Mirage, and so everyone switched positions. And we spoke about the win conditions again. I'll bring it up. Kanidoru and Divo, they were the bottom 3 fraggers on DNMK, on Inferno, and then there were the top 3 fraggers on Mirage. All of which went 20 plus kills. Kani went absolutely mental, 23 and 12, 94.1 ADR over the map. But that was the one condition we spoke about for DNMK. And if they bring the same fire and Dust 2, then I do honestly think Goliath have a tough chance, because on the Dust 2 matchup yesterday against ATK, their T side again was lackluster. You remember CT side for ATK was really solid, 11-4 up. It was ATK's CT side, side rather, that caused them problems. But maybe Goliath, they've refined their T side, and maybe they can get things going more so on that side of the map, because maybe it's going to be a 2-1 to Goliath, but in all honesty, the ball's in anyone's court.
Yeah, the ball is on anybody's court, and as you say, I mean, we saw the team play yesterday on the map against ATK, and they were convincing. I mean, like you said, there was maybe some things that they can brush up on, but for the most part, I feel like they actually should have won Dust 2 against ATK yesterday. So if they have been able to rectify their mistakes and sort of iron out some of those kinks, then Goliath Gaming are still very much in with the shout here. But maybe I need to remind everybody of Comic-Con 2020 lower bracket final. That was quite an interesting series where we ended up having a decider between these two teams on Dust 2, and DNMK won that 16-2, Nick, if I recall correctly. So it was just like an absolutely massive, a crazy game where DNMK just destroyed them on that third and final map. So will we be seeing something similar here in the decider of this series, or will Goliath manage to get across the line? These two teams did play against each other in the regulation season in the upper bracket, and Goliath Gaming won 16-12 on Dust 2. So they've beaten DNMK recently on the map. We'll have the knife round to determine sides, and then we'll be kicking things off here in the third and final map of the series. Remember, giveaway open at the moment. That's for a 250 Rand Steam voucher. The keyword for that is Yoba. We'll be announcing the winner somewhere throughout this map of that giveaway. Only open to South African residents. If you've entered already, don't enter again. And Nick, what do you make of this? Let's stick your neck out there, bruv. Let's hear your prediction.
I was actually just going to ask you the same question. I'm not even going to lie.
Too late.
Ask everyone in chat.
Uno reverse card, bruv.
Yeah, exactly. I want everyone in chat, like just right now. I want either 2 letters or 4 letters. GG or DNMK, like right now. Stick your neck out there. I'm personally going to say I think Goliath are going to take it. I think their T side looked rough against ATK, but I mean, it's ATK. Like, no disrespect to DNMK, but they're no ATK, sort of a thing. And like Nexus playing, that's one thing to keep in mind, but I think ADM, he popped off on Inferno. If we see the same sort of ADM on Dust 2, I think this is probably Goliath to lose, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think that Goliath are the favorites coming into this map, but I don't think that it's outside of the realm of possibility for DNMK to win as well. So I'm sitting on the fence a little bit, but I do sort of put my hat on the Goliath Gaming stand. Let's see if I'm going to regret that one. Let's see who will be matching themselves up against ATK in tomorrow's final, and who will be eliminated from the Avenger. In third position, Dweezil, who rattles off the first shot in the round, will be putting Heartbreak in the grave. ADM finds Nexus as well, and it's off to the perfect start here in the CT side pistol for Goliath Gaming. As they start taking names, it's only Doru and Kani left. Doru forced to try and use his smoke to get out there into some cover, but he loses his life, and it's a clean pistol round, Nick. Goliath Gaming off to a great start here, so they can put their demons to bed from the previous map.
Yeah, like DNMK, they're sending the player with util, with the full bolt of utility and no armor out long, and then he just gets one tap. So next thing you know, like, even if the kills don't go DNMK's way, even if they traded 1-1, then like, what's plan B? So I think that was a lost round pretty much from the get-go from DNMK, but Goliath, they make it easy. A force buy comes back from DNMK, 4 deagles and a scout on Kani. See if he does some extra chip damage, and the deagles could be extra good.
Bless you.
Dude, I'm struggling here. This is why I got the toilet paper.
That's why he has the toilet paper, guys. Nexus and Divo.
I just gotta blow my nose.
Go for it, get it done. Nexus and Divo, they've been able to find some frags in this round. It's getting a little bit awkward here for Goliath Gaming. The round in which started off fairly comfortably for them in terms of the weaponry they were going up against has now been converted into a 3v3, and Elusive up close here on short. Oh my god, he catches Divo, who's pulling some util out. Job's not done just yet either. He's going to be dropping a flash. Kani manages to tuck himself into the corner, goes undetected, and now Dweezil's going to have to clutch it out. What are we witnessing right now? Dweezil's coming through with the flank up short, so he might be catching Kani off guard. It's all about the timing. He comes around the corner, and Kani's Desert Eagle reigns supreme. Oh my god, what did we just witness?
Yeah, I have zero clue in all honesty. Like, DNMK, super solid round. Kani, with the heroics, able to win it out pretty much for his team, and he's able to upgrade to the M4. Things are going to go really well for DNMK's point of view, but Goliath, they're going to force back right into it. They've got a couple upgraded pistols, armor on all of them. Dweezil's just saved a bit of money in the bank so that he can buy up that AWP in the coming round. Kani's taken out Adaro, swiftly taken down Dweezil soon after.
Yeah.
Now it's ADM who's taken down Heartbreak, but now there's two people staying up. B-bomb side is vacant, and oh, okay, that's an M4. Different round.
I mean, it's a force by response.
Round. Good. They're done. Save the M4.
Same round.
Yeah.
Yeah, a force buy and response here from Goliath Gaming has achieved next to nothing. And you got to sort of question the setup that they employed in that previous round, Nick. I just had to watch it back a little bit there on the stream on my second screen. ADM pushing up shorts aggressively by himself, and also a fight being taken in the middle. I'm not sure who it was. I think it might have been Adaro. And they both just lose their lives at the start of the round. It just seemed completely unnecessary for them to be taking these aggressive fights against the T side when you know you're against the force buy. You know, it's not as important to keep control of the map when you've got the advantageous buy. That's where you need to make sure that you play for the deep stage of the round. You don't give any free frags away. You want to force the T's to actually put themselves in some extravagant, extended positions to try and find the fights, right? You don't want to give the Desert Eagles those early 1v1s in the round.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I think it just comes down to different teams' approaches to anti-ecos, and maybe Goliath just didn't have their wits about them that round. They're losing the opening picks, and the next thing you know, DNMK, they chow you up. ADM, he's going to get chowed up on short. Heartbreaks Mac 10 to make him mincemeat, ensure that he can get that extra cash injection. Flash towards middle from Dweezil, allows for Adaro to get a bit of an advanced position, but Maska, he's got the M4, he's towards CT, he's in a bit of limbo, but he's actually going to be put in a bit of a grave because Doru shot him in the back of the head. He's lurked out the B-bomb sites, and now pretty good anti-eco coming out from DNMK, ensuring that everyone stays up besides that of Divo. So the money's going to start to build up in the bank. You can still work around with this Galildas Mac 10 in the next gun round, especially against the unhead armored opponents, which it does look like every single one of the Goliath players is unhead armored. So you best believe I'll put my bottom dollar that Heartbreak is going to kill someone this round with the Mac 10.
Headshot, obviously, as well.
Yeah,
it's happening. If he gets it done flying forward, Massacre might be his first victim. He's been able to get himself into
It's not happening.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to happen, but it rip.
I think you need to go have a chat with your future teller, bro, because you've been a little bit off lately, Nick, and you're never wrong. So
dude,
I'm not sure what's going on.
I haven't been informed recently. I don't know what's going on. It's all these alternate universes.
Yeah, there's too many.
Yeah,
there's too many to deal with.
Shipping
Tento is still left alive here in the server. Elusive gets a flashbang to find some information. Goliath Gaming have got short control. They've got a player posted up close to the mid doors as well. So they've got a lot of information to work with right now. They're sitting fairly pretty on the defense. And, well, it looks like it's going to be a stock standard 8-take coming out here from the DNMK. They start to work their way towards the safe side. The spray down from Elusive will connect onto Nexus. Onto ADM. Swinging out off the back of a flashbang actually does go down, but a lot of damage done in the process. So the 4v4 is still doable until Massacre goes down. Slightly preemptive on the push there. I don't think it was necessary for him to be making that type of a play. I mean, you can forfeit the plant, right, and wait for your team to get into position. But now he's lost his life, and it's awkward now for Goliath. It looks like they want to save, Nick. Yeah, Daro, Dweezil, and Elusive have no choice but to take these guns into the next round. 4-1. DNMK. Yeah, it's early days, but remember, this is the decider of the series. So every round they win is one step closer to that grand final.
You know, pretty much every round they win is worth their weight in gold, and I just think the way Goliath are playing their early setups, they fall prey to these sort of set pieces. You know, they seem to set numbers towards middle. They have 2 players early towards B, so they're sort of countering a mid B, which obviously is extremely tough to defend against, right? So when you're playing that standard like 1-1-3 sort of setup with 3 players taking long, if you don't take long, you take short, you can fall prey to that B split. So maybe that's why Goliath are probably preparing themselves against that, but then because you're leaning towards one side of the map, you're making a read into countering that sort of a play. You then fall prey to some like short execs or long execs, which is exactly why they lost that round, because they only have 2 players towards that side of the map. They then fall, and then what? Then you got players retaking through CT. You don't have a late long player. You can't hold too many pieces of the map at once, and then you lose the round. And if DNMK carry on playing like this, they're gonna have a rough time. But Dweezil's just faced the smoke just well. Heartbreak not having his wits about him. Early kill going to go the way of Goliath, and maybe that's what they need in this round. Elusive's also faced the smoke towards long. Oh, dude, how does it not kill him?
Yeah, I don't know. Somehow Kanye is actually able to get alive there. One-man advantage persists for Goliath Gaming as DNMK start to work their way up short. And Nexus has gotten in position to shut down the rotating Elusive. Has a couple bites at the apple. Eventually he finds the frag. And off the back of that, DNMK are going to be taking assertive control of this A-bomb site. Finding Dweezil. This is a fast rotation though from Massacre. Gets himself on the ramp. He's able to find 2 frags. Great work by him. Yeah, the information's there now for DNMK that they should be going across towards the B bomb site, but all of a sudden there's life in this round now for Goliath Gaming. Plant will definitely come through here, but both Kanye and Doru not looking very healthy right now, Nick. They've only got 63 points of health between the 2 of them. The lone smoke expended towards the doors as well. No catcher, of course, for the CTs. This does just start off as a Nico round, so the fact that they've already gotten to this position is a great start to this round. Can they finish it off, though? Kanye and Doru, 2 players to try salvage the situation for DNMK, but ADM, my god. First frag found easily, and he takes on Kanye as well. Doesn't even wait for Massacre to come through the tunnels. He says, don't worry, bruv, I've got this under lock and chain. And Goliath get a reprieve as they win the eco round, Nick.
Yeah, it came down to the heroics from Massacre towards A, right? He gets those important picks, and then they clear out that side of the map. They come out for the retake, and they split up 1-1, which initially I thought, okay, maybe they're going to give up 2 duels too early to DNMK, but Doru peeking the window ultimately was why they lost the round. He peeked window, gets insta headshot up close and personal with the M4, and because of that, Goliath posts their second, and that was Nico round, so it does have a bit of a toll on the DNMK economy, but it is still looking good for another buy round, even if they do lose this one. So Goliath, they've still got to get through a couple more important rounds in terms of DNMK's economy to ensure that they can make a namesake back in this game.
Yeah, exactly that, right? If Goliath Gaming lose this round immediately here in the 7th, then DNMK just continue where they left off. Double AWP in play as well. Dweezil's been brought down, but he's still alive with the AWP towards the B site. ADM, he has his AWP towards long, as he always does. And he has a job to do as well, because DNMK are starting to build some numbers up on short here. A minute left on the clock, and there's only flashes left here for Goliath to work with, Nick. So, retake will be tough. So, hopefully, for their perspective, they don't have to end up in that position. Dweezil going to do everything he can to ensure that's the case. He takes down the lurker Kanye, and normally that should be info, right? Oh, I found Kanye in tunnels. That means that the rest of the team's on the opposite side of the map, and ADM, he finds Divo. Perfectly timed peek from him, and that gives a lot of room to work with for Elusive now. In fact, DNMK, they're forced to use their last smoke to actually just try and fake a bit more presence towards long, but Elusive's completely cleared it out, so DNMK, they have to try and overwhelm middle now, and they will actually catch Adara off, and he's in a bit of an awkward position. Now Dweezil has to lock down this B bomb site by himself, getting wrapped on here from tunnels as well, with only 15 seconds left on the clock. If he can just find 1 frag here, that would be great. And in fact, that flashbang has dispelled them initially, at least. He does take down Doru, and he's going to repeat, finds Heartbreak as well. Perfect job coming out of Dweezil. Eventually he'll lose his life, but the damage has been done. Elusive rotates into position, and Goliath Gaming string a second round together here as they find their third.
Yeah, and 3 men stay up, which is really important. They're able to save the double AWP. They were able to retrieve it off of Dweezil's fallen body. So now they've got a double AWP to play with. The NMK still full invest into this one. Doru can drop over an AK. Everyone can invest. Heartbreak will have an AK of his own that he's been dropped over as well. So they've got a full buy. Yes, not full bolt of utility. However, the delayed buy and spawn does mean that early map control pretty much goes DNMK's way for free. Obviously, Goliath don't know this, so they can't just assume that they're going to get free long control early in the round, but they're not going to fall prey to any of these early picks. Goliath, and it is going to be short control under question. As Goliath are falling back into this sort of 1-1-1 setup. One player towards long, one player towards CT, and one player towards A.
Yeah.
Which is extremely strong, all things considered. Like, that the Goose player, he doesn't have to show his hand. He can play towards CT over towards Goose. And then if they come up short, he's going to be able to frag out, especially if he goes uncleared. But ADM, pretty much his job, he's going to be patrolling towards short. He takes a pick, gets flashed, falls back, repost, pick, falls back.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's just how it works.
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely, that's the play. That's the blueprint here for Goliath Gaming that they've set up at the moment. And it looks like it's going to be working out according to plan as well, as DNMK do start gravitate towards short, but they still have options available, right? They can change things up. That's the beauty of the T side of Dust, is if you've taken short control and you've got that one player in tunnels, you can just immediately change the plan and go through the mid doors and try and split onto the B bomb site.
They've got one smoke.
One smoke. And it looks like it is going to be the mid to B smoke. But remember, normally you prefer to have two smokes. Nobody in CT to exploit the fact that they don't have the second. But ADM able to catch off Doru through the smoke. And he finds Heartbreak as well. I shifted across from the POV because I didn't think you'd get anything further done. Adaro, he's still getting some work done in this round. He finds a double kill. And now it's just Kani left by himself. He's going to fall to Dweezil's Orb. So the Orb's finding a lot of frags in the round for Goliath. And they keep 4 players alive, Nick. So this economy is starting to build a bit of sustenance now for the CT side. They've leveled the scores up 4-4. And speaking of money, there's none left in the bank here for DNMK, so they're going to have to save.
I mean, that utility just comes down to the fact that people were greedy. They bought AKs instead of Galils and full bolts, you know? Like, it's what are the priorities, right? You can still, at Galil, maybe it's not nice, but it's always nice to have a molly, 2 flashes, and a smoke to work with, especially in the late round. They had one smoke, which they used towards CT spawn, and that kind of shut off their options. I mean, you've got one smoke. Where do you think? I guess you can throw lurk smoke on short, but you know you're not going to get any work done. You can throw a deep CT smoke on short, but you're not going to get any work done. The only option you really had was to mid B, and all 5 players went through that choke point, and it was just easy pickings. Yes, ADM did get 2 through the smoke, but I think even if then, you still got a good lockdown towards B. You don't really have anything to work with taking into the site. And as you said, usually when you mid B, you have 2 smokes. One that lands on the box and one that lands towards mid B. And DNMK, they just didn't have the utility that round. How many does Dory get you?
None.
Never mind.
Yeah, falling to the no-scope. Divo finally finding a frag here in the round for his team. But danger still lurks around every corner here for DNMK, and they will end up forfeiting the lead, Nick. 5-4 here. Goliath Gaming starting to find themselves on the CT side. I was getting a little bit nervous for them. I mean, like I said at the time, 4-1 is certainly not any cause for chaos or panic, but it may be some nerves setting in. However, they've dispelled all those nerves now with 4 consecutive round wins. They built up a hefty economy, and you can see that each of the individuals now are starting to perform their roles. That's the thing about CT side Dust, is it's not really a very team-based CT side like a map like Train maybe, where you're very reliant on each of the on everybody working together. Whereas here, each individual has to try and do their job without much support, and it's the individuals who are performing on the side of DNMK in this round, as both Doru and Heartbreak open up middle and long, and this completely blows the door wide open on the round as Goliath are forced to adjust their setup and Massacre falls.
Yeah, I think Massacre was just super scared that there were going to be numbers towards mid B, but then he doesn't even throw a good flash for him to come through the smoke, so it's just a free kill, and essentially him losing his life there means that the round is essentially unwinnable. It should be unwinnable for Goliath, unless DNMK have a massive misstep. Going to regress towards middle, but Heartbreak is good close timing on his teammates. Adara's going to chime in for a frag on his own. Now it's a 1v3.
Adaru? Oh, wants to try and get the fancy footwork going to find the frag, but fortunately for DNMK, the player was tucked into the cubby. 5-5, DNMK back to winning ways here. They bring an end to that win streak that Goliath Gaming have found in the past couple of rounds. There's an AWP on the ground for Heartbreak, so he'll have a weapon. But still not the best economic situation here for either team, which means whoever wins this round, Nick, is going to gain a nice little foot in the economic battle. A nice little +1.
Yeah. And I think Double Op still to work with. Massacre's rather, he's on the FAMAS. An AUG and a M4 and a Adar and Elusive respectively. So still a couple pieces of utility to work with. No opening frag has been won just yet, and just as I say that, Dweezil's going to take out Heartbreak, and low HP of Nexus is going to fall to the FAMAS of Massacre. And just losing the opening duels are DNMK, and now they've lost short, so what are Goliath going to do? They're going to reaggress long, which is really good about this push and pull. You've accepted that you've lost short, now you've got to take long. This is really good CS coming out from Goliath. We see rounds like this, which go so well, and then we're like, imagine if Goliath played like this every round. You know? Because the other round, they're just dying early, they're losing opening picks and stuff like that. But this round, completely different story.
It's kind of like the balance that they're trying to find, right? As Divo's forced out by the molly, should lose his life to Massacre. He does nice shot from him. This is the balance that Goliath need to, try to figure out. Kani, can you just give me an opportunity to finish my point, maybe, bro? Can we just chill for 30 seconds here? All right, yeah, cool. When you've got individuals like Adaro, Massacre, and ADM in particular, those are three incredibly cerebral and talented individuals who love to make individual plays. Now, okay, Kani, my god, that was disgusting. Am I gonna have to hold my point here again? Lock out, rock out, sock out, and in the grave. But they need to find this balance by trying to, get Adara, ADM, and Massacre to buy into the textbook that Elusive has got, right? So that they can find that balance in between their individual prowess, but still committing to the system that all of them are playing for. Yeah,
I agree with you 100%. And I just, from a viewer's point of view, like, imagine if Goliath played the CS that they've been in like the previous round, as you said, like, just talented players showing their talent, like super good, winning the individual duels. Not like this. This is like, you played so good last round. Now why are you going to lose opening picks this round? What's going on here?
They can't lose to another eco round here. They lost to the Force Spy in the second round of the map, and it looks like that won't be the case here again. Elusive and Massacre starting to mop up, but Doru finds the timing on a Daro, and that means it's going to be a 3 versus 3 retake here that Goliath have to make happen. They only have one flash as well. They've got the kits, but yeah, this is gotten a little bit awkward once again. Goliath Gaming probably dropping the ball in these rounds, and they expect themselves to have a fairly easy time of it. ADM coming through, or rather Elusive coming through, finds the kill. He's been fed up by Divo, who doesn't have any room to work with, and normality restored as Goliath do complete the retake. They take quite a bit of economic damage in the process though, Nick, which means if DNMK can win the next round, they can still make something really solid of this half. Because if they go down 10-5 here on their T side, they'll be feeling rotten about this performance, considering that they were up 4-1 at one stage.
Yeah, I agree with you tenfold, and this game rather has been on a knife's edge. It's ebbed and flowed. Each team has had their position in the driving seat. We've seen important rounds coming out from players and from the teams alike, and now it's 7-5, and Heartbreak is going to try to push the issue towards middle. He's taking down Dweezil. Really aggressive all play from Heartbreak, and that's what we like to see. That's the Heartbreak we know and love. The explosiveness, the aggressiveness coming out from him, and all of a sudden, 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the clock, and Goliath, they're clutching at straws. They got to take map control somewhere, and they could find the golden apple towards short, but they're not going to Nexus. He's not going to be blinded by the flash. Divo's got a Dara in the meantime, and this is DNMK's round to win again.
And this is what I was talking about earlier, about how the CT side of Dust is just purely based on your individuals. It's so tough because, you're playing middle by yourself like Dweezil was in that round. It's so easy to get overwhelmed because there's no easy cover either. So if they start rushing you down, you have to take the fight. There's nowhere for you to just duck into. And then the B player is playing by himself as well, so he has to try and hold down tunnels. If he just misses one shot and he gets picked off, then the CT side has just become so tough to play on this map. I'm not a fan at all of the CT side of this map, purely because of how heavily reliant it is on each individual performing their role near perfectly. Because as I said, if just one small thing goes wrong, it just feels like the round is over. If you lose your B player very early, how do you retake the B side? If you lose long super early, yeah, you can try retake A if you have short, but it's not ideal. Do you like Dust, Nick?
I do, actually.
Okay.
That's the thing. I think the map pool is actually in a really good good
Yeah,
place
no,
right
not
now.
asking you to drop it. I'm just asking in general if you think it's like a good Counter-Strike map.
I do think it is, because I think VP is one of the teams where they've got a very interesting approach. Like, if you think about teams executing long, right? They have the 2 smokes. So what do the CTs do in response? They could drop a smoke towards the site that they could play around, which obviously every smoke is the same length. The CT smokes aren't magically longer than the T smokes are. Every smoke is the same length. So it's sort of like using your utility extremely sparingly, how you take long as efficiently as possible. You're not double mollying it every round, then smoking the molly, then smoking deep and re-smoking it and stuff like that. How are you going to take map control effectively and using that utility? So it's like smoking the long doors instead of mollying it on a couple rounds, instead of like double mollying it, stuff like that. That could be stuff to keep into account. Maybe getting the AWPs to post the long lines so you don't have to expend utilities. That when the retakes do come in, you have the smokes to drop over towards long corner to mitigate the pit play when you retake, to drop a smoke on the bomb, etc., etc. But this was actually a buy round from Goliath, and DNMK, they're making a bit of a meal of it. But as I say that, Doru's just been dropped by ADM's AWP, so now it's going to be a retake on the B side. There's a kit on ADM and a flash on Massacre. I assume they should swap over. Maybe ADM drops the AWP over to Massacre so that he could double flash so that ADM can push with the rifle. But it does look like Massacre's actually going towards the tunnels, which does actually mean that this retake could actually be quite tough. He's actually also traded up to the AWP, which does mean it's going to be a double AWP retake as the flashes come in. Dweezil's going to get one, Massacre's going to get one. Kanye in the 1v4, turn 1v3, can't get anything done after that first kill, and the retake on the B bomb side is successful.
Yeah, great work by Goliath Gaming. Again, just putting a stop to any potential momentum that DNMK could try and find here on this T side in the latter stages of this first half. Goliath Gaming have secured themselves the win here, at least in the first half, going up 8-6. Oh, how they would love that 9th round, though. Makes a bigger difference than I think most people realize, because you actually get that 3-round buffer to take into the second half, as opposed to that 1-round buffer, right? Whereas if they lose this, it's the 8-7. So let's see how this one's going to be playing out. Kani already has his AWP towards long. Flash over the top will be blinding him up, but he's just got the angle on lockdown, and Elusive with the narrow peak there kind of just stays in line with it. Normally you can predict that if there's an AWP there, he is just going to rattle off the shot, right? But Massacre pushing forward off the back of the flash is able to find one, needs to get himself out, decides to second guess it. Weasel hanging around actually is the player who ends up getting baited into the shot. Massacre with his HE grenade touches down, and Adaro, who pushed forward, gets caught off guard by the timing. So things unraveling in this round for Goliath, a round which actually got off to a fairly decent start. Has all that hard work has been undone, and now Massacre has to clutch. So, Nick,
how's about I've got a proposition. If DNMK win this round, we roll the giveaway.
Okay, and if Goliath win it,
then the giveaway never gets rolled ever.
Then we win the giveaway, right?
Yeah, then we win.
Okay, sick. We split it 125. No. Actually, I take 200. You take 50. Okay, never mind. I thought that's a fair split. Okay, I don't know, maybe not. Guys, let's roll the giveaway and see who will be taking home the 250 rand Steam voucher courtesy of Evesports. Can't be, okay, cool. Cole Flesh. Congratulations, Cole. You are 250 rand richer. Hit me up on Twitter, @Haze Castings. Go follow me, bro.
Question is he in chat?
That is a good question. We'll see. Big pistol round here, Nick. Big pistol round. Goliath Gaming, 2 smokes, 4 flashes, and we're in the final round here of this lower bracket final, the final half rather. Doru tapping away in towards the B bomb side and looking to try and keep it under control, but he's lost his life, and ADM will be able to find the kill on Sakani as well, and that's the pistol round done and dusted. I mean, Heartbreak's got 2 flashes on a kit, but this is just such a tough site to retake. It's going to be a one-dimensional retake as well. First flash over the top, been avoided by Massacre up close to the smoke. He's going to welcome them with open arms, graciously greets them with some kisses on the forehead, puts them to bed, says goodnight, my sweet prince, and now it's just the IGL left remaining, and he's not long for this world either. He goes down to elusive 9-7. Goliath Gaming looking to kickstart their T side. Nick, they've now won both of the pistol rounds here on Dust.
Yeah, the fact that the score is still so close and they've won both pistols just shows testament to how DNMK are finding success in the gun rounds and some of the ecos that they've won as well. But it is 9-7. 2 rounds is the buffer between Goliath Gaming and DNMK. Obviously, loser of this goes home.
Yeah.
Even though they're all home because there's no lands.
The proverbial home.
Yeah, exactly. They get plane tickets to their bed, which I mean, they can cry into their pillow.
There was a LAN event announced yesterday by Relog Media that they'll be hosting in Serbia.
LAN speed LAN.
LAN Sweet LAN, and the goal for that is in Feb 2022. And those are the guys that I've actually just started doing some international work for. So, I mean, hey, who knows what could happen, right? If I play my cards right in the next couple months, if I keep working, maybe I can grind my way to that. But hey, I'm not going to get ahead of myself because that would just be absolutely ridiculous. Focusing on the game now, 10-7. It's going to be a gun round from DNMK, but Niix, it's a bit of a mixed buy here. They've got FAMASs and some rifles, not that much useful. One kit, loses gun round, and it feels like Goliath Gaming can really start to tear ahead in this half.
Yeah, I agree, especially if Goliath starts to get their economy going. Maska's actually lurked out long, and he's going to catch Divo. So the early pick is going to go the way of Goliath Gaming. Nexus doesn't have head armor, so these Galils are effectively AKs if they do choose to entertain Nexus, who is playing towards the A site.
Oh, the giveaway got re-rolled. Unlucky call. Frozen. Frozen has swooped in and stolen his girl. Oh, man. Look at how they massacred.
It's like when you're at the jolt, bro, and you smacking this chick, and then
you go to the bathroom for 2 minutes.
Yeah, and then another butch comes up and he smacks your chick too, bro. So then you have no chance with your chick anymore, bro. And then you start to drib one another, bro. No, it's not fights, bro. Get it right, it's drib.
Sorry, okay. Is it drib, Mr. St. Benedict? Eh?
Okay, it's all about dribbing the other oak. Okay, that's how you do it.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Yeah, sis.
For me, it was Guri, boy. Guri.
Okay, that makes no sense. No, that's not okay.
That's what we used to chant in primary school when the lads were going at it, bro. Make a circle around them, like, yes, we were barbaric cavemen. Pull the phone out. Don't try to stop the fights. We need to stop the fights in this round, Nick, because DNMK have just been shut down and they're trying to save their guns, but Adaro potentially going to be denying exactly that. Nexus definitely won't be saving his gun. He's just looking into a wall for 30 seconds before he lost his life. And Doru and Kani trying to save their guns, but they're not even going to be able to. So, Nick, we always talk about how teams should commit to the save from the get-go so that they don't waste anything. And DNMK, they do exactly that. And they're like, cool, we're going to all set ourselves up on the B-bomb side. Crossfire's set up. We're all good, guys. We'll take these guys. Oh. We're all dead.
And Luko. Kani's... I hope it's a misbuy. That's all I'm saying. I hope Trevor's misbought the auto shotty.
Oh no, that was definitely not a misbuy.
Maybe he hasn't.
No, this is the plan. Nick, didn't you hear about that? Can't he ball up and all for his team? 3 frags rattling off. He picks up names, and now it's 2 versus 1. ADM, thankfully, for Goliath has found Nexus, but Heartbreak has been left in a winnable position. Hasn't picked up a gun, and he actually sticks to the fire, flying straight through. Gonna try and find the planter. He does, but ADM trades him out. Nick, how did you dart the alligator in Kani's hands?
I mean, look, if you got 5 kills, I would have been alright. But I mean, then won the round.
Oh, man. So, you're a man of high standards. I like it. I like it.
It's 3 kills, $900 a pop, and now you can buy
average.
All of a sudden, like, what the hell is that, dude?
$2,700 off 3 frags, bro. That's 9 kills with the rifle, and Elusive has found Divo, by the way. That's a big pick towards long. I've also got a player in middle, Elusive. Oh my god, he's feeling it right now. The wind is in his sails, and nobody can stop him. He continues to surge forward. Nexus receives the same treatment, and this could be the beginning of the end, Nick. Goliath Gaming running rampant here on the T side, as we expected to see. They had a great T side yesterday, even though the score might not have reflected it against ATK. But if they've rectified those small mistakes, bridged those small gaps, this is what they're capable of doing. Great stuff, 13-7, and this was an easy round as well, Nick. This just came off the IGL saying, guys, I'm not going to talk for 30 seconds in spawn to tell you what I want out of the round. I'm just going to go entry. Okay, so just follow me. Just follow me. Let's go.
He's like, oh, wait, access plant, eh? And then it's like, and then Adam says, Ron, we're still in freeze time. Like, what do you mean? And he says, no,
it's like, you'll see.
Yeah, just give me 20 seconds.
You'll see.
And then he gets 2 kills and he goes, okay, guys, let's plan, eh? But I mean, looking at the scoreboard, like, DNMK, not a single player positive. We spoke about the win conditions. Kani, okay, he is positive. He's 14-14, but ADM and the boys, 19-8 from ADM, 19-9 from Massacre. Super solid performance all round from Goliath.
Yeah.
Experts, unfortunately, unable to get a good foothold in Dust 2 so far. And he's been performing really well throughout the series, so maybe he just needs to have a mental reset, maybe just switch on the next couple rounds and see if he can get something done. But Dory, he's got the solo rifle towards this B site and does look like he is going to be entertained. But who's getting entertained in the meantime is Kani. He's been entertained into the grave. Doru, oh my goodness.
Doesn't actually get cleared. Oh my god, he finds himself too. Can he get anything more from here is the question. Absolutely, he can. He destroys Dweezy. Actually finds ADM as well. He doesn't even lose a single point of health. It's empty. He just saved the gun. And he finds 4 frags in the round. And they were all too easy as well. Surgical precision, sure, but he doesn't get checked. And there was somebody who was entering. I'm not sure who the first frag that he found was, but that player wasn't checking the back of the site. Doru just throws a basic flashbang and he cleans up in B-bomb. In the B-bomb side, Dweezil, is he here? Yeah, he's there. He's going to buy up. We're good. But that's a big let-off, Nick. DNMK, they get gifted a round back by Goliath Gaming. And if they can win this gun round, they can start to capitalize on that gift.
Yeah, and oh my goodness. I don't know if Dweezil missed a flash because I saw 2 team flashes in the feed at the top. So I don't know
which is never very accurate as well, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Even if it just blows up near the teammates and doesn't blind them at all, it'll still count.
There was one player dabbing, but also that's the same sort of thing. Like
true.
He could be like minuscule blind and he'll be dabbing sort of thing. So I don't know to what extent that flash did blind them, and that could have been the reason why they lost the round. For all I know, maybe he missed the flash completely and it blinded 2 of his teammates, and Doru got the initial first kill. The traders were blind; they couldn't do anything. But I hold my thought. Long cross smokes have been thrown out from Goliath. They're going to cross towards the site and see if they can press the issue over towards Kani in Gandalf. He's mollied out. He's missed the second AWP shot. He's going to re-peek, and now that's going to be the A bomb site. There's this late short flank coming out from Adora, and he can be the thorn in DNMK's side. He's going to get the first onto Divo. There's another player.
Yeah, I didn't expect Nexus to be there as well. At least he finds the 1 frag as the bomb plant comes through here. It's going to have to be a 3 versus 3 retake for DNMK, and Nexus kicks things off perfectly as he burns, he loses to a crisp. Massacre, though, tries to force the issue. He wants to be proactive in the defense. He will find Heartbreak. There's this long flank coming through as well. ADM, he actually is able to pivot in time, and he finds Nexus. So, straight back to winning ways here for Goliath Gaming. Oh, man, that's unfortunate.
Oh, Doru flashed. I mean, to be fair, ADM probably already knew he was...
I don't think so, man. I don't think he did. I think ADM was watching CTU religiously. The flash is what gave it away, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a reasoning to the flash and say maybe ADM didn't know.
You're the best caster ever, Nick, because you always want to try and give players the benefit of the doubt. It's so wholesome.
Yeah, and
you just got to be savage, Nick. You're just going to say, why did he throw the flash? That was just so silly.
Oh, you dumb bot. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, alright. Now we're going to the opposite side of the spectrum. Okay, okay.
Yeah, super savage caster, just absolutely troll. Like, look at this bot noob Heartbreak just missing a shot towards lowers. Oh my goodness. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Nick, did you say something there? Because Heartbreak, he seems like he might have heard something. Dweezil finally gets a frag back for Goliath Gaming in the round 14-8. This is do or die for DNMK because they don't have any money left in the bank. So if they lose this 15-8, and they'll be able to buy up in the next round. Divo, you don't need to make the play here, bruv. Holding the edge of the smoke is exactly the play. No need to push it. No need to be aggressive. 14-9. DNMK breathe life still into this game, Nick. They are in it. They are trying to keep themselves in the hunt. It's going to be an eco for Goliath. So this should be double digits for DNMK.
Dude, Adara was late short, and I think he thought that DNMK saw him, but they didn't. So he tried to like throw a fake flash with the smoke, and then I think it was Nexus just looking at him like, it's a smoke, dude. Like I can see it.
I know this is a smoke.
That's literally it, yeah. Heartbreaker's got an aggressive line towards tunnels, and he's going to tag Adara down to 24 points of health, but it's going to be long under question. Divo going to get the first. He's just going to cower in the pits and flash and see if he can stay alive for as long as possible. But the issue is going to be pushed from Goliath Gaming. He's stuck in a bit of a rock and a hard place towards this long position. Is Divo low HP? He's going to catch the first one to ADM. And these Glocks, he's 1 HP, but he's doing the god's work in this pit position, ensuring that he stays alive, and 5 players stay up for DNMK to ensure that the economy can build up. 14-10, and that's going to be a partial buy, I assume, from Goliath Gaming. A couple Deagles, maybe a Scout, an ADM, or Massacre, or Dweezil.
It's a B rush, Nick. What do you mean? Didn't you see this round, bro? Haven't you been watching your demos lately? My
True.
God. This is a B rush through and through if I've ever seen one. Perfect spawns as well.
Did you ever see the time where Doru got 5 on the spray down when they rushed me?
Actually, I think it's a Daro who got the ace, Nick. Not Doru in the back of the bomb side. Doru didn't even find one this time, bruv. Oh, God, okay, Doru. He gets the triple. He gets the triple.
I would have been so proud.
Nick was nearly on the money this time round. Can Goliath Gaming find the bomb plant is the question. I mean, they should be able to relatively easily. They salvaged the M4 on Doru's body. Massacre, there's no bullets in there, by the way. So you're going to have to reload. There we go. 2 versus 4. Retake gaining some traction as they charge their way forward, but they run into a hail of bullets. ADM able to find one, as does Massacre, but the retake will still be coming through for DNMK. 14-11, Nick. We have a game on our hands here, brother. This is heating up right now. DNMK are fighting tooth and nail to keep themselves in the hunt, to try and deny Goliath Gaming the rematch against ATK in the grand final. Remember, guys, this is the decider of the series. Whoever wins this map will be playing in the final tomorrow against ATK in a best of 5 at 6 p.m. Losers eliminated.
Yeah, and 3 people fell for the side of DNMK last round, so the economical situation is not going to be looking too great in the coming rounds, but Nexus is going to be looking great towards long. The flashes just not hitting the mark. Nexus not even being partially blind. Adaras and lowers, Heartbreakers push top middle. These rounds are falling and changing and ebbing and flowing and heartbeats. Heartbreak has fallen.
Yeah.
Massacre, ADM, and Adara now group up towards the upper tunnels, suggesting some sort of a B pop or maybe just a contact into B to see if they can abuse Doru. But he's going to reply with a smoke as soon as he gets contact or as soon as he hears those gunshots.
Oh, Divo's position's been given away now. He rattles off the shots, and Massacre with the AWP is able to get on the angle, hoping to try and chase him down. I do like the confidence coming out of him. I think that was the correct decision. But he wasn't able to find the frag, so now they have to reconsider their alternative options. And it looks like they're going back towards long for perhaps a late long take, but Nexus is already in position. Sets himself up in a forward angle.
Shadow advantage.
Shadow advantage makes for an easy frag on the first, and he lines up the second as well. It's only Massacre left, and he checks his kill feed and realizes that he doesn't have any support left in the round. Dropping down, he will fall. Divo sees him dropping, so he just kills him, and he's going to continue to fall through the earth. 14-12, Nick, and it's going to be another save round here for Goliath. Where's that timeout, baby? Where's that timeout? Let's just discuss things. Let's talk about how we're going to find these final 2 rounds. If I'm Goliath, yeah.
Or even just using these eco rounds as a timeout, like chill and spawn. Yeah. Like, you don't have to play it fast. Everyone has this sort of idea where like, oh yeah, you have to rush in your eco rounds, and now Niix is going to get free kills because he's got the AK. You get free kill. Sorry, sometimes I think it cut out there. It said gave me an extra S for 0 reason.
Yeah, no, all good. It happens. Massacre hoping to add a few extra numbers to his kill counts in the round, but he won't be able to. Dweezil's got this flank coming though, however. And coming through long, he might be able to find a pick here, you know, because the CT's retaking are going to be focused on the bomb site. There we go. Coming around the corner, he can't capitalize and find Heartbreak, and now they know his position. And he shook, walks out, he'll get taken down. Adaro will be found out as well. 14-13. DNMK have drawn within 1 round here on Dust 2. They have drawn within 1 round. What a comeback this has been, Nick. They have won 6 of the past 7 rounds. They were down 13-7. Maths is hard. They were down 13-7.
Look at the spawn. Elusive's just going to contact B with the AWP and ensure that I assume whoever 3 is, ADM's going to throw some sort of a long fake and an Xbox smoke's going to go out. All Elusive's going to do is contact B. If he gets contact, then they explode off of it. If they smoke, then I assume they probably just regroup and they do a B pop. But Elusive's just going to walk into the site with his AWP, and if he catches Doru unawares, this could be a problem, but they're actually just going to flash and take it. Doru is going to go 1-for-1 towards the B bomb side. Now it's going to be super rough. Did he miss a shot towards us?
He missed a shot, yeah. That would have been a big frag as well, bringing into a 3v4. And ADM, he's on the Xbox right now, so he's cutting off any rotations. And he might even be a backstabber himself. Dropping down, though, he should be heard here by Kani. He is, but the AK will trump out the pistol. In the meantime, Elusive has found Heartbreak. Now Nexus has to go back, but he finds Adaro as well, who was probably peeking in a position he shouldn't have been. Now it's on Dweezil and Elusive to make sure they get across the line here in the round, and they will. Oh, they will. And you best believe believe there's been a massive sigh of relief being breathed in that Goliath Gaming TeamSpeak right now, Nick, because they see that magic number at the top of their score, 15.
Yeah, it's always rough when you're going to try come back from that sort of scoreline. And it looks like they're just going to do the same thing again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going to go right back for it. However, they haven't thrown any longer until this round. Now they're going to go back, excuse me, and throw a short Xbox smoke. But because DNMK haven't heard anything long, there's no reason for them to rotate. There's no reason for them to be scared about anything. That's why there's 2 players on the speed bomb site, and that's why the spacing's not good. And that's why Adoru is munching them up. 3 kills in a round of Doro from this late mid lurk. And unfortunately for Goliath, that was just a choreographed exit. DNMK could read into it. There was no reason for them to shift numbers off the B side. So they just had 2 players there.
They did just have 2 players there. 15-14. DNMK, Nick, they're on the cusp of taking this game to overtime. They are 1 round away from completely resetting this game here on Dust 2 in the decider of the series.
ADM going for long pick.
Yeah, not going to be offered anything up from DNMK's perspective, though. They are happy to just sit and play the long game. And Heartbreak, well, he doesn't want to sit around and wait. He's gotten himself into lows. He's found a Daro. And now they're going to shift their focus on towards the A bomb site. There's 4 players here for the CTs right now. 3 on short and 1 on CT.
Now look at this read. DNMK, Doru rather, he's just pushed up a B, and now they know it's A. There's no possibility that that's going to be B. So Doru's choice either here is to stay in upper tunnels and retrieve this information, or he can take the gamble and assume that no one's holding the flank from T spawn. He's just actually going to stay, so they're going to lean with those 4 players towards the safe side. ADM's just taking down Heartbreak, so that should prompt Doru to come in for this fast flank. But there are still 2 players in short. They have pushed ahead of the mollies. They're in no man's land, but the spacing and the fighting from Goliath is just not good. There's no flashes to take these fights. So Nexus, he's going to chomp up 2, and ADM and Elusive, they're going to have to wrestle things back. ADM's got 1 in the meantime, but he's been taken out. This has OT written all over it, and that's exactly what it's going to be. 15-15, DNMK, take it to OT.
Overtime is the name of the game here in the decider of the series in this lower bracket final. What a fantastic comeback from DNMK. They were so far behind the game at one stage. They were down 13-7. They brought it all the way back. They were down 15-13. They won 2 rounds. And Goliath Gaming are going to be kicking themselves, Nick. They are going to be kicking themselves. This game has been reset now. All that hard work done in the previous 30 rounds has been wiped clean. The slate is vacant. And the time is now. Who will get the job done in overtime? Oh my god, what an insane series this has been. It's exactly what we wanted as well, Nick. This is what we've been looking for this entire season, is these closely contested games between these teams. And it doesn't get better than overtime on the decider.
Especially for the side of who's going to meet ATK in the grand final, right? Like, there's nothing better. This round, however, DNMK have taken short control instead of long. Nexus is going to be jiggle peeking and dropping his life towards the AWP of ADM. They do have 2 smokes, which they are going to smoke the long cross with, which they have done a couple times. And one thing Goliath do, which they have versatility with the strat, right, is they have cut the noise. So if you're DNMK, you don't necessarily have a read. Goliath don't necessarily take this super quickly, and now they're going to go towards the solo beast player. That is Doru. How many kills can he get in this one? Insta kill on the first, insta kill on the second. Dweezil finally gets the trade. He can smoke the doors and plant for the tunnels, and ADM can pick up his flank as he's going to plant. But if you're DNMK, you can try push the issue. As soon as the bomb gets tapped, you should flash and peek. They're actually just going to go before that.
Oh my god, Dweezil. He finds the shot onto Heartbreak, but he can't find Divo, who puts himself in position. ADM in the meantime has been able to take down Kanye, and Divo just holding the off angle will find ADM, who's charging into the B bomb side. DNMK win the first round of overtime. Oh man, I thought that was the perfect round coming out of Goliath. They had control of everything, right? They're faking towards A. There's only 1 player on the B bomb side, and 3 of the T players are pushing through the tunnels. But hi, my name is Doru, and I get multi-frags on the defense.
Yeah, now it looks like they're just scared of Doru. They're like, listen, we don't want to go to where that oak is. We'll rather go towards the A site.
Let's go to literally the furthest point away from where he is. Oh my god. DNMK are ahead, Nick. It's been a while since they've been ahead, bro.
No, dude, he's pushed uppers.
But he's made the read because they've come here so often and now there's no presence. Now he recognizes that he could try and make something happen. He's reading this game so nicely right now and capitalizing on the gaps, creating space and being a living nightmare in the heads of Goliath right now, Nick, because now all 4 players in long, they have to commit to the safe side. Nexus has short control and DNMK have got everything they could possibly hope for right now. Nexus is completely cleared out middle. And DNMK almost definitely at this point know that all the players left alive on the server are towards long here for Goliath. As they edge their way forward. ADM just missing the spray there. They boosted up. He shoots all 30 bullets into the smoke. Able to do some damage, but nothing lethal. Kani on the cross takes on Dweezil. The bomb's been dropped, Nick. The bomb has been dropped in the open. Kani continues to reign supreme on the angle. There's only Massacre and ADM left, and they're going to be taken down as well. Massacre by himself here has got the work to try and get done, but just no room to breathe. Heartbreak with the jumping orb, looking to try and finish off the round for his team. Needs to be careful because it is Massacre who's still alive here. He's been able to find Nexus. There's only 1 bullet left here in the magazine for him. And they're just going to swing him wide here and take him down. And he runs out of ammo, missing that first shot. 15-17. DNMK have won the second round of overtime. And they just need 1 more round, Nick, to secure themselves OT number 2 at the bare minimum. There's no money in the bank here for the T side.
No money in the bank, but you know what is in the bank? 4 timeouts. 4 timeouts. Not a single
of
one.
Which they've used how many?
Exactly.
Oh,
like,
none?
Like, you haven't, like, when was the last time they won a round? Like, I can't see the regulation scoreboard, but it's been a while, pretty much. And the gun rounds haven't been going their way. Just talk things over. Take a timeout. Even, we saw them take a triple timeout back to back to back on Mirage. And they lost that map. And now, you're not doing anything.
Oh my god.
Like, what is going on here? Because they're making it so obvious. How's it Irks, like, we'll have 1 Irk going uppers and he's actually going to go low, so Doru's just going to push him. Like,
he's coming alive here in overtime and they're going to try wrap onto the speed bomb site, but they've lost the numbers and Doru, he just can't put a foot wrong right now. Whatever he touches turns to gold. Still alive and kicking. He knows that he's been pivoted on from tunnels. Finally, he's been taken down, but Doru's just left with such a tough job to try and do 1v3. Yeah, he'll find a bomb plant, but he's being circumvented here. A player coming through tunnels. Nice pivot there. He takes down Nexus, but he'll immediately be traded up by Diver, who finds the triple in the round. And it's 18-15, Nick. 18-15 for DNMK. They need 1 more round here in the second set of overtime and they win the map. They eliminate Goliath from the event and they march on to the grand final again here on Dust 2 in the decider. Between these 2 teams, these 2 orgs, yeah, the personnel might have changed ever so slightly, but it seems like the result will remain.
Oh, DNMK just running rampant with the gun rounds, dude.
Yeah,
like they're winning all of them.
If Doru hasn't convinced you to use the A1S, are you even watching this game?
Doru's a different breed. I'm still not going to use the gun, by the way. Doru's a different breed.
Oh man, Nick. DNMK, they're on the cusp of making something crazy happen here. After being destroyed in the first map of the series as well, nonetheless, Nick.
Just going to group up for a B. The only player on the bomb side is Adaro, so if he's going to be shut out by a couple flashbangs and maybe you're going to get mollied out as well, he's going to have a real tough time of it because the closest responder is Dweezil. He does have a flash to help him out, but he is going to be smoked off in the meantime.
Needs to be calling for some support, man. Surely he's seen all this util coming in. He should understand that it's only as Molly is the only reason they have an exec yet. Here behind the back of the Xbox towards platform, he's able to find one. Now they know where he is. Support's coming through from Dweezil as well. Don't you dare keep your head up again. Adaro, he does reappear and he's actually able to find another. Great work between himself and Dweezil. They do lock down this B bomb site, finding 4 frags between the 2 of them. It's only Kani left remaining. And it seems like Goliath may have achieved the first objective here in the second half of overtime, and that's win the round. And they have to be flawless, Nick. Goliath have to be flawless from here, man. Tiny goes down. End of the round.
Do we see double OT? Is it going to happen?
No. I think DNMK are going to close this out here in the first set of overtime. I could be wrong. I actually saw Lately predict 1916 a bit earlier on, by the way. So
yeah, but he only predicted that after DNMK
oh, no.
a couple rounds. So
No, he predicted it at the start of OT, I think, man.
Yeah, but that's at the start. That's like really. Yeah, you're gonna take that as a prediction?
Yeah, fair enough.
That's cutting corners.
Oh, alright, Lady. Sorry, I tried, bruv. Nick's not
That's
gonna
like
let you have
that's like
it.
when the one team's 15-5 up, and then you're like the other team doesn't have
16-5?
any equality. You're like, oh, they're gonna win 65. Look, guys, I was right.
No,
Look,
I
it's
think
not the
it's
same. It's not the
it's a
same.
bit more than that. It's a little bit more
Yeah.
than that. Alright, big round here though, Nick. Big round here for Goliath Gaming. Dweezil on the angle. Might be able to catch Divo. No, he's not quick enough on the trigger.
Both teams have had a real tough time on the T side of Dust too, man.
DNMK grouped up on short this time. Last time they tried to burst into the B bomb site. Ooh, what's happening in lowers? What's happening in lowers? Massacre. He finds Goru, and Kani seems to have an idea of Adara's position. He's going to drop the fire. Kani actually using the smoke to extinguish it so he can keep on taking the fight. All in the meantime, DNMK have been able to get themselves onto this A bomb site, not without a contest. However, Massacre continues to take names. He's going to find Nexus as well. My god, Massacre just can't put a foot wrong right now. He just needs to stick the defuse. Kani can't do anything about it. He needs to take his AK into the next round. He won't even be able to deny this. And he swings out around the corner. Does lose his life as well. Goliath Gaming. Oh man, they're giving DNMK a taste of their own medicine now, Nick. They're 1 round away from taking this second half of overtime. 1 round away, and it's also MR310K, remember, which means that the T's don't have a full bank of money coming into this round. The 2 AWPers in the team are slightly poorer coming into this one. Yeah, they got the rifles, but no full util. But still, because of all that hard work DNMK did in that first half of overtime, Nick, they're still in with the shot here. Win 1 more round, they win the series. They eliminate Goliath, they book themselves a spot in the grand final, but Dweezil has other ideas. Nice first shot from him to take down Diver, and he follows up with a shot on Heartbreak, and he takes down Nexus. Dweezil single-handedly is saying, we're not done yet. He finds a shot on Doru, and it's the quad kill for the AWPer in the round. 18-18, we're going to OT number 2.
Oh my goodness, dude. Like, DNMK just peeking before flashes, and ultimately, like, that's why Divo falls, and you're just giving him free 1v1s, is that mid-B play just not coming out to good fruition from the side of DNMK.
Poor spacing, man.
Yeah. And I was going to comment on the shorts exec, but I mean, it's overtime, so everything's going to get a bit touch and go. So I assume everyone makes mistakes. It's overtime, you know? It's where push comes to shove. It's where, like, you're fighting for your spot in the tournament and your spot in the grand final. So, of course, it's not going to be perfect CS. It's going to be brawly, but it does look like both teams are just having a better shot at it on the CT side.
Yeah, definitely where teams are finding majority of their rounds, which is quite ironic because normally it's the T side where teams find most of their rounds, in my opinion, in overtime, because that's when the CT side gets found out and the Ts can start to, you know, adjust themselves accordingly. Maybe you bring some pocket strats out as well. So sometimes the CT side can be tough in overtime, but I guess it also does come down to personal preference. Double open player, ADM and Dweezil, 1 AWP on the side of DNMK. That's carried by Heartbreak at the moment. And it looks like they're going to be starting to group themselves up towards short. Bomb carrier is lagging behind, and Dweezil's still on this tight angle. Kani going to jump across though to avoid him. Was he spotted is the question. I'm not sure. Maybe that information not going to get relayed across. Aiden with the AWP has to be flashed off here, and then flashed again and flashed again. Otherwise, he's going to be taking names while DNMK just try and get themselves onto the site. First couple smokes going in. And now they're going to be able to force him off. No first flashbang to blind him, so he's got the angle to work with there. He's going to continue to reign supreme. Actually, uncharacteristically misses a shot there. He's been legged down to 17. There's the flash I'm talking about. And now it's going to be a 4 versus 4 post plant. DNMK looking to get the bomb down. ADM getting ahead of his team there. Absolutely premature from him, getting aggressive, and now it's a man down for Goliath Gaming. Elusive coming through with the big flank, misses his opportunity as well. Heartbreak certainly won't be, and now it's just Massacre and Adara left remaining in this 2 versus 4, and they have no option but to save their guns, Nick. No option but to save their guns. We know with MR310K you don't have all the money in the world in OT, so you have to manage your economy still. Massacre's going to lose his life, so he won't even be able to take his gun into the next round. And DNMK are going to be kicking themselves, saying, why, oh why, could we not have done this in the first set of overtime, second half?
Oh, like that shorts exec looked really good. Yes, they didn't have the desired flashes to completely flash the long player, but it still worked out to good effect, right? So, DNMK, they got an all-important T round. Both these sides seem pretty resolute on the CT side in overtime, so maybe it's going to be the T side. Or, knowing OT, DNMK get 3 rounds on T side, then next thing you know...
Then...
there we go. OT.
We might be here for a while yet, actually, is what you're saying. We can start taking shifts, Nick. Like, we can each do 1 set of overtime. I'll go make coffee while you're casting, and then vice versa. And then we can just be here into the evening, man. First frag found in the round as Doru's been taken down. Goliath desperately needs us because it's not going to be too far out of their memories that they did have a very poor T side in the first set of overtime, right? They didn't win a single round. Both of these teams relying on their CT side to get them to this point. And now DNMK are going to be relying on their long exec to try and get them across in the round. ADM off the back of a flash looks to make a play. Goes 1 for 1. Not sure I'm a big fan of that, all things considered. You already have the man advantage. But I guess each to their own massacre. He's in no man's land here as well. He's going to be getting overwhelmed. He's been sprayed down by Nexus. So all of a sudden it's a 3 versus 3. Heartbreak still has... He's watching the flank, so he can't afford to leave it. And they don't have a smoke for the cross, so this is round over, right? There's no way that they're able to get anything done yet. Weasel chasing down Heartbreak will find the kill. And now it's Nexus. Yes.
He wins this. He wins this. I'm confident. I'm confident.
Does he wrap around short onto A? No,
no. He just plants B.
Okay. Dude, yeah, he gets up in time.
Imagine he wins this round. Nexus, the player who's dropped from DNMK. He should peek CT. He's going to get the info. He gets 1 kill. And then he can fall back and play the post block. This is what he should do. Like, peek it on a timing. Catch one player with, like, youths in his hand or doing something. I don't know.
But will Goliath allow that? They're stacking on top of each other right now for that exact reason, to try and deny him being able to make that play. But if he finds the timing, he does bob and weave back and forth right now. He's been able to bypass them for the time being. And Adara's going to tap the bomb, but there's no kit, right? Nexus won't know that they're not sticking it. Looking to try and force it. He does come around the corner and he falls to Elusive. Oh, man. He did make that interesting. He made that very, very interesting. But Goliath Gaming do get across the line. They've leveled up the scores 19-19. And we head into the final round here of the first half in OT number 2.
Dude, I would have been so hype if Nexus wins that round, dude. Oh, I try to speak it into existence.
Fair enough. Manifestation.
I see people in chat saying I won't go to double OT. Like, we're already in double OT, bro. Like, get to the program.
Yeah, time to wake up, Slowy. I know that you're not familiar with OT because you win all your games in regulation, but come on, bruv. Dweezil. He's still alive and kicking and continues to have an impact here as he's coming alive with his AWP. Looking at the numbers, it's actually, no one's going crazy. Everyone's fragging on the server right now, Nick. There's nobody below 22 kills. It's like almost everyone is equal here in terms of their kill death. Everyone's neutral nearly. So yeah, this is a great game. All 10 players on the server are chipping in and having an impact. The least frags on a player 22, the most 30. So everybody between 22 and 30 kills right now. That's pretty rare, actually, Nick. And Dweezil, he adds another one to his tally as well as he continues to lock down the defense on the C bomb side. Kani, Doru, and Divo all receive the same treatment, courtesy of Dweezil's massive dwangs. And that's what he calls his off, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
Just in case anybody wanted to leave that up to interpretation. 2019, Nick. No, not the year. That's the score.
Now it's time for PKDM. Yeah, we're literally in the second half of double overtime, and now you're like, okay, I guess now's a good time to call attack. Oh my goodness.
There's still 8. There's still 8 tack timeouts on the server, by the way.
I guess sooner rather than later. It's a good thing that they used it now. I wonder whose idea that was.
Yeah, good
For
question.
we know, it's Trevor that actually just needs the loo. So he actually was like, guys, take attack, and I'll be right back. That's actually the whole reasoning.
Take attack. I'll be right back. Gonna activate the hack. Put Goliath in the sack. I'm gonna make some bank. Oh,
surely someone buys the deck.
Oh, come on. Machine and Sponge, hello.
Someone's rushing up
Elusive with the AWP. Yeah, there's a big push up mid coming through from Heartbreak. He loves to make these types of plays, but he realizes he's on a timer, and that time is ticking. He needs to get himself back, and he will. 2019. It's the Goliath who have got the lead right now. If they win one more round, they secure OT number 3. The magic number right now, 22. That's what these teams are looking for.
Dude, this game's on a knife's edge. One misstep will go either team's way. Kani gonna take an AWP shot towards short and choose to fall off of it. Not too bad, all things considered. You still got long control, so it would have been a bonus. But Goliath, they've shown presence short. They've got a long lurk. They've shown presence B. That's pretty obvious that B lurk. You know, he's pretty much saying, I'm only one player here. I'm throwing you till I'm making noise. pretty obvious where the T's are going to end up going. That's why Kani and Nexus have just got a couple frags going their way. Diver's got one in the meantime as well. Adara's going to be hurt to the tick of the molly in middle. And that's he's just going to be the next to fall. Weasel in the 1v5 can't get anything done. And Divo was one of my win conditions, and he's got 3 in the second round of overtime, of the second overtime on Dust 2, the third map of EGL One Season 2, 2021. Give me all the 2s. 29 kills from ADM, dude. Frickin' A.
Oh my god. This is
frickin' A, Cotton. Frickin' A.
This game that just keeps on giving, man. 2020. Whoever wins this round, Nick, whoever wins this round secures themselves that mental high ground that they have at least another set of overtime. And if it's DNMK, there's not much money left in the bank for Goliath. Yeah, they've got enough on a couple players, but Dweezil and Elusive have nothing in the bank. Dweezil with the AWP peering towards middle right now. He's going to be flashing in for his teammate to try and take a peek. He did spot out Heartbreak, but can't find the frag, so all 10 players left alive here on the server as he starts to reach the minute mark. Kani and Heartbreak both with orbs in play right now. And what do Goliath do from here? What does the big brain of Elusive think of this situation? What read is he making?
Dweezil couldn't drop the
There we
bomb,
go.
dude.
Yeah, I was going to say, he gets it across finally. You know, OT things, man. Silly season over here.
Okay, so they're going to fake the short execute, but only send one player out. I assume Elusive might choose to try drop CT with these flashes.
ADM looking to try and take contact here up against Doru. He's been able to do damage. They found him out. They've isolated his position. Mollied him out into the open as well. He's still been able to stay alive, but he's just taking so much damage from the fire. Finally, ADM will take him down without Doru and getting anything done. That's an anomaly for sure. And it's the B-bomb side taking full control of here. Frags being traded back and forth towards middle. And Nexus is able to double down as he takes Dweezil as well. So it's going to be a 3v3 as the plant finally comes through. Heartbreak, you don't need to deny the plant. Rather go for the retake. Join up with your team. There's one flash and one AT grenade left here on the server, and both of them are possessed by DNMK. Naden towards tunnels won't have an impact. Flash over the top, waiting for it patiently. Heartbreak's lost his life to Massacre. Now we can see the double push coming through. Diver finds one. ADM, though, continues to do work. And Diver, surely there's too much for him to do from here, right? Surely, right? The bomb's ticking away, and he will fall to Adaro. 21-20. Goliath Gaming have done it. They win a round on their T side of overtime. And they now just need one more round to win the map, win the series, and book themselves a spot in the grand final. But DNMK are not out of it yet.
Oh, wait, Oaks, you know, we're on another match point. Let's call a timeout. Why not? Let's talk about it. Oh, my goodness, dude. One more round, and Goliath will book a rematch against ATK in the best of 5 grand final tomorrow. But DNMK, it's Nexus's last hurrah. He wants to finish it off in a grand final. Why not? Having a look at the scoreboards. I want to look at ADR and flashes, dude.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Okay, so even ADR, it's not like one person's doing insane amounts of damage. Everyone's around that 70 mark, plus minus.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what score you have, whether you've got 31 kills or whether you've got 22. There's like 5 ADR, maybe 76 being the maximum.
Yeah.
And 67 being the minimum. Like, dude, this game,
that's
everyone's
a small range. Nick, when the effective flashes numbers start looking like util damage, you know that the game has been going on for a while, bruv.
True.
Big round here. Heartbreak already been taken down by Dweezil, who's seriously come alive here in overtime. And Goliath Gaming, they're going to say, we're going to go towards the B-bomb site once again. We want to show that we can still get it done, even though Doru's been so good here in the past. Can he get it done here once again for DNMK? Sitting in the smoke, Goliath have to know that he's in the side somewhere. Doru's still alive. They're pressing tab. They're seeing him on the scoreboard. They see this, they spray him down. And this could be the beginning of the end. It's only Kwani and Divo left remaining. Divo been able to get ahead of the mod. He will lose his head to Adaro. And now it's just a 4 versus 1. Kwani, the only player left. Surely he stands no chance. Surely Goliath Gaming have finally done it and got across the line. Unless Kani can make something magical happen. But he's going to be going down to Dweezil's AWP as well. The man who started off the round finishes it as well. And Goliath Gaming have done it finally. They get across the line here on Dust 2. They had 2 map points and match points in regulation. They couldn't get it done. They then had to fight back in overtime. Nick, they were down 3-0 in the first round of overtime. And they won 3 consecutive rounds to draw it back out. And they get across the line in the second set of overtime. In the last round, we have our victors.
Dude, and we couldn't have asked for a better decider, for a better last map, for a better outcome, effectively, right? I'm pretty sure DNMK, all things considered, they'll be pretty happy, even though they came out in the loss. They were playing with Nexus. We spoke about that. But Goliath, I mean, DNMK, they gave Goliath a run for their money. Everyone fragging. Maximum kills in the server, 31. Minimum 22. Like, really, really close. There wasn't one player dropping 60 kills in double overtime. It was super closely contested. Rounds were knives edges pretty much throughout. And really, really good performance from both teams. Unfortunately, kudos to DNMK. They finished in third position, but Goliath, they booked them spots. A rematch with ATK.
Oh. Nick, I'm kind of breathing a sigh of relief here for Goliath, because can you imagine if they'd actually lost that series, how they would have been feeling, man? Like, considering they won Inferno so convincingly, and then they had such a big lead at one point. They had 13-7 and 14-8 on Dust 2, and they nearly actually dropped the balls. DNMK did a great job to fight their way back. Enough of our words. Let's get an interview going here. Let's get ADM into the channel and hear what Adam has to say. There we go. Straight into it. Adam, congratulations. You guys finally get across the line there against DNMK. You win the series. You book a rematch against ATK. So I'm sure you guys are budding right now after that performance, man.
How's it, gents? That was a very long and taxing game, but I'm happy we walked out with the victory there. We kept our composure towards the end. That 18-15 scoreline was a bit daunting to play against, but luckily I think our CT side's pretty good, so we managed to just keep our cool and take the game from there.
I mean, let's.
Okay, you can go. Off
I was just gonna restart this. Let's go all the way back to square one, Adam. Starting off with the veto. We'll work through this little conversation chronologically as the game went on. So starting back with map number 1, Inferno, if you can remember back that far. You guys had a crazy game on Inferno, which has definitely become one of your guys' strongest maps in the pool. You guys pick it coming into this series, and you win 16-5, and you have a crazy series as well. I mean, tell us a little about Inferno. Did it go as you expected? Did you guys definitely expect to boss that map?
Yes. I think the one default you run really works well, especially against DNMK. I think from an AWP's perspective, it's not the easiest thing to AWP against. This one default you run, and we can see that all the time we play against DNMK, Trevor definitely struggles a little bit on their CT side. When he's AWPing towards A, so I think that was our saving grace when it came to T side. And luckily we had a much better CT side than that other time we played against him. I remember they made a big comeback. So luckily we just kept our cool. We fixed those mistakes from last time, and we were just able to have a clean map.
Yeah, I just want to refer to your individual performance on Inferno. I mean, you went 25-11, and I was saying, it's Adam of the past, it's 2019, Adam coming back. I think you had a 1v4, 1v3, and a couple 1v2s. You finished the map with a 1.96 rating. Like, what happened? What happened on why did the beast Adam come out and what do you think went so right for you?
I've been playing so bad on Inferno lately, and I think coming into this game, I just thought to myself, I need to be playing a lot more smarter than I am. I've been playing very aggressively as of late, just looking for jewels and whatever, playing super confident. I just thought to myself, let me just play a lot more smarter. And the default that we were running, a lot of the time, I would usually take Banana alone pretty confidently. Even against ATK, I would do that. But today I gave them a lot of respect towards Banana, and they pretty much made so many mistakes that I was able to capitalize off of. And I think that paid off really well for me. Just like a mental pep talk I had with myself. So
yeah, I mean that 1v3 clutch was tasty, bro. I was just saying, Adam and clutching on the A sides of Inferno while I'm casting. Name a more iconic duo, right?
Yes.
All right, so now let's shift our focus across to Mirage, because you guys have a fairly easy game there on Inferno, all things considered. And this is the all-important lower bracket final. Coming into Mirage, I mean, it's been a fairly comfortable map pick for you, or maybe not a pick, but a comfortable map for you guys in general. You guys underperformed on it last night against ATK. You lost 16-7, and here you lost 16-10 as well. You guys were looking a little bit lost today on the T side in particular. What were you thinking about that map performance?
It's tough. We playing a style across most maps where we rely a lot on ourselves to just hit shots and whatever. And if we aren't doing that, it's gonna be very hard. Like, we don't run a lot of set strats. We don't copy and paste anything that we see from overseas. Ron and I pretty much make all of the stuff that we do, and we think it works good for us. Like, we've got a lot of I don't know, in quotation marks, you know, puggy type of players, you know,
Yeah,
Maz,
of course.
Tyler, myself, especially
Yeah.
Ron, ever since he came back from NA, he's super confident, so he goes for all kinds of crazy duels and whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much our playstyle. And unfortunately, when we're just not hitting shots, it's going to be pretty difficult to deliver. But when we are hitting shots, like we had a decent T-side half against 80k on Wednesday, I think it was.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
And
it was a great T-side.
It purely comes down to even two people hitting shots at that time. I think it was Tyler and myself just hitting shots on the T side,
Yeah.
and everyone else was just doing their role. And it looked so much better than how it has looked in the past today and yesterday. So yeah, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
If we show up on the day, I think our T sides will be a lot stronger than where they can be. If it's only one person showing up, it becomes very difficult. But the second it's 2, 3, 4 people showing up, our T sides will be very strong. It's just how we get to that point, which I think will be the difference maker.
Yeah, I mean, you speak about 2, 3, 4 people showing up on your T side, and pretty much that was the whole like theme of Dust 2. Everyone was playing out of their
On
mind.
DNMK
I mean,
and Goliath.
yeah,
almost.
like a whole 10 players in the server. So it was super entertaining from a spectator's perspective, watching you guys go neck and neck. I mean, you went 31 and 25, Masco went 31 and 26, Dweezer went 30 and 29, Adara went 30 and 29. Like
Yo.
super similar scorelines across the map. So super close Dust 2. 8-7 CT side and then 7-8 T side, and then you went over obviously towards the triple OT to finish things out. So what is the vibe sort of throughout the whole Dust 2? Like obviously coming off yesterday's performance, your CT side is really strong. Your T side not so much. What is the vibe coming into Dust 2 today?
I'm not gonna lie. I think the mood was amongst all 5 of us. It was pretty low going into the map. But I think as soon as we gained a little bit of momentum, everything just kind of changed and we all got in our rhythm again. And I think we had a good lead at some points on CT side, you know, when it was 14 or 15.
14-8,
Yeah, it was something like that. And I think as soon as they caught up to us, there was a moment of silence, and I think the pin dropped for everyone, you know. And yeah, that was a pretty, at least for me, that was a pretty scary moment.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just got to do what you have to do. So sometimes you don't even need to let your emotions or your nerves affect anything. You just need to do what you've discussed with your team, and
Trust the process.
Yeah, you just trust the process. You've discussed it with your team. It's a system. Believe in the system and see if you come on top in the outcome, like we did. Personally, like I felt my aim wasn't the best on Dust 2, and I was still playing the exact same way as I always do. Ron was still playing the same way he always did. Like I'm just speaking from the A player's perspective, and we were just playing exactly the way how him and I have spoken about it. So I couldn't be more happy with how we played on CT side.
I think it's banter. You go, oh, your aim wasn't feeling, casually tops the server. Oh, I wasn't feeling about aim. Wasn't feeling about aim.
The thing is,
I
I know my skill ceiling is a lot higher than what I showed on Dust 2.
100%.
There's another moment I just want to touch on. So you guys were ahead at one stage like 13-7 and then 14-8 and then 15-13. So you had those 2 map and match points in regulation. DNMK bring it to overtime. Then in overtime, number 1, you guys lose the first 3 rounds and you go down 18-15. Then you're shifting into the CT side. What is the thought process of a team at that point, right? Because it's the deciding map in a tournament here. Tournament lives on the line. Grand final, and you have to win 3 rounds just to get to another set of overtime. Not even a chance of winning the map itself. Did Ruan say anything in that moment, or do you guys just still like trust the process at that point?
I'll be honest with you. I think when that round 18-15 came, I had a long swim with the orb. Ruan was going to support me. Mass was going to come towards A, whatever. None of us said anything. We just went straight out of spawn, and thankfully we got the ball rolling, and the vibes were just lifted again.
Okay.
Yeah, I think after just throwing a lead away that we had, and all of a sudden we are 1 round away from losing. Like it was very tough mentally to deal with. But again, just fall back on the system. You don't need to let your emotions get the better of you or anything like that. Just do what we need to do, and if it's good enough, it's going to take us over the line.
And I'd imagine that's like a big input from Elusive side, right? Like he brings that maturity to the team, right? That keeps everybody cool, calm, and level-headed.
Yeah, big time. I think people know I've always been the hothead of many teams, and I think even in Goliath last year I wasn't the most calm player, but Ruan has made me a lot more calm. I still have a long way to go, but
That's
Yeah,
really good.
he's helped a lot of us. Even Mass, like Mass is also a pretty excited player, but Ruan has tamed us both to a level that I never thought I would reach, and maybe the same goes for Mass.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I have no doubt that you're absolutely exhausted. So this is going to be the last question from my side.
Sweet.
So you lose against ATK yesterday. You have
Uh-huh.
a marathon today. I mean, yeah. So now you've got a rematch, best of 5. What's the thought process going into tomorrow?
Honestly, we just need to be confident. We just need to believe in ourselves, and we just need to always stick to the system. We don't need to do anything fancy. We don't need to be chaotic, because there were such silly rounds yesterday on Dust 2T side that we just threw, because mainly myself, sometimes Nico, sometimes Mass, we were overcalling Ruan, and it wasn't because of anything. We weren't calm enough, and that was what let us down. And those first few rounds on Dust 2T side, they were so close. It was 1 alive, 2 alive, and we were 7-0 down,
Yeah,
5-0 down or
we
something.
said that the whole time, bro.
Dude,
Yeah.
and they were so close, and it definitely came down to us not being calm. We're creating too many chaotic situations, and I don't think a lot of players thrive off of chaotic situations, especially our team. We definitely don't thrive off of chaos. So as long as we can just keep the composure and keep it calm and be confident and just stick to what we know and stick to what the plan is, then I believe that we can come out on top. That is definitely our main goal at the moment, is to beat ATK before they leave, and I'm pretty sure this is the last opportunity we're going to get to play them in a series before they go, because I think they're leaving pretty soon. So
I mean, because Adam, this has been like an ongoing theme for what's coming up about a year for you now individually. And I was talking about in the stream yesterday that I know that if there's anybody in South Africa who wants to beat ATK, it must be you, brother.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no bad blood between
no,
ATK
it's
or
just
myself.
not from bad blood. I'm just saying because of how hard you've been working to try and get across the line in a series against them. So tomorrow you will have another opportunity. Adam, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us once again, brother.
Thanks so much.
And who knows, maybe we'll be chatting to you again tomorrow after your series. We'll have to wait
fingers
and
crossed, dude. Touch wood. All of the good luck charms.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right, Adam. Thank you so much, brother. Chat to you soon, mate. Okay, Nick. We've got the rematch booked here between ATK and Goliath Gaming. The two titans of South African Counter-Strike will be locking horns. And as Adam said, it could be for one last hoorah, because ATK are going to be departing South African soil within the next month. And that means Goliath Gaming have got but one more opportunity to try and leave their mark on them before they get to go.
Dude, that is nuts. Oh, dude... if only it could happen at LAN. Imagine how sick that would be, dude.
I know.
But I mean, I think it's been. I'm actually going to be upset, like from a spectator, from a fan of CS, from a fan of ZACS point of view. The fact that it's been this rivalry, right?
Yeah.
For the past year and 3 quarters. You know, this ATK team they built. Players have been taken from Big Five, from different teams, and from everything that they've just sort of come together and they've wiped the floor, and that's not even an overstatement. They've wiped the floor with everyone, with Goliath, DNMK, Energy when they were like 2nd or 3rd in the country. No team like really stood a chance. DNMK came close, Goliath came close, but it's so sad, in all honesty, like from a spectator's point of view, that it's coming to an end. But I have no doubt that I have no doubt that it's gonna be the best one yet. I have a feeling tomorrow's gonna be the best one yet. I'm absolutely buzzing from a spectator's point of view that tomorrow is going to be absolutely unreal.
I know, yourself and me included there, Nick. I am so keen for that game, guys. Make sure you join us for that grand final. It's on HLTV if you don't know where or when, but it will be here on this very channel tomorrow, 6 p.m. Make sure you follow the channel, subscribe, follow Evesports on social media. Heck, even go and follow myself and Nick as well while you're at it. But guys, that is all that we have for you in store today. I really hope that you enjoyed the Counter-Strike that was on display, because we certainly did. And that means we have 8 weeks of Counter-Strike will all be culminating in one match, one best of 5 for us to crown the champions of EGL One Season 2. Everybody has ATK as the favorites, but Goliath Gaming are going to do everything in their power to try and change that narrative tomorrow. We're going to have to wait for that game. From myself and Nick and everybody in the back room and the back staff and everything that made this possible, we will be bidding you guys farewell. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, though, keep well and make sure you join us for that game. All the love in the world, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. sharp.
Goodbye.